All of these people, holy shit. Hi, guys. Howdy, howdy. We skipped over our intro, but that's fine. How, good God. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, thank you all so much. Good evening, good evening. Yeah, I guess aside from thank y'all so much, we'll go ahead and start moving on into things. So this is we're here this evening with Hard Knock Dice with our Ghost of Saltmarsh campaign or champagne. I just realized I still have my little library open, so we're gonna close that down while we continue with this intro. But yeah, we're here with our episode 21 for those who are not familiar. But so we'll get through our opening stuff real quick to get into the game. I have had my desktop audio off, but that's fine because it's still capturing my audio. It just wasn't capturing you guys, so they didn't hear shit from y'all, but that's okay because I can talk. But yeah, we're still doing our extra life charity drive up to $3,500. It's a good cause for children's hospitals and stuff in the continental North America. We're $1,300 into our $3,500. We have a few items that we plan on giving away, including a digital copy of Tasha's Cauldron and everything, as well as a gaming mouse and a gaming keyboard down there at the very end. So it's a worthwhile cause. Check it out. You can see up kind of on the top of our, actually not on the top of mine because I didn't add it in because I kind of suck. So if you go down into our description, it's in there. Also, one of our Hard Knock Dice members, Brittany, is doing a Kickstarter for her Spellbound pins, enamel pins, which are really neat. They're themed off of spells from D&D, like Gentle Repose, Fireball, and there's one more, and I'm blanking on it. But they're all really cool and nifty, so give that a check out. Well, hopefully that'll succeed, and then she can expand the repertoire to even more fun and cool spells and pins. But moving on into the campaign, last time our absolutely daring group. Yeah, Revivify. There you go. Hydra, thank you, buddy. Our daring party ventured from the town of Saltmarsh on a job to clear out a island that is a little farther off the coast, a few hours in a small boat, in order to clear it out of some kind of cult of undead, in order to free it up for the Mariners Guild, as well as just the military, the guard, and other soldiers that are currently residing within Saltmarsh, as a jumping off point and security outpost kind of deal for the current conflict they are in with the Sahuagin. They also have met a undead hunter of some shape, form, or fashion named Ella Conley, who they have joined forces with and have convinced to, stick around with them for a little bit, even after this current good gracious, after this current venture, for the promise of making sure that a lot of the undead on this island get murdered. But they traveled on to the Skull Dunes in the night to hopefully avoid the living eyes of its residents, before quickly coming into conflict with some undead, namely in the form of skeletons of the regular variety. Fighting through some of those, they have now given rise to some bigger and more threatening foes of one large towering skeleton comprised of a bunch of different skeletal pieces and such that just towers above them and has made its way through the sands, as well as several just swarms of skeletons that writhe across the sands and are encompassing one of their allies at this time. So we will go ahead and hop right into this combat, everybody, which is going to be at the top of the initiative order, which is unfortunately for you guys their turn. So,
wonderful.
Yeah, you love to see it. Which is our big boy here, the skeletal giant, the Goliath of skeletal parts, is going to make 2 attacks at Bart as he is right in front of him. So, we're gonna go ahead with attack number 1, which I don't think that'll hit because that's a 12 total, which in your tiny agile form, you're able to duck under it as it just one great skeletal hand comes sweeping above you. The other, however, is a 22 to hit, which I imagine hits you. And that is going to be for 13 points of slashing damage as it just kind of rakes across you with one large skeletal hand.
All right.
And it's just
like that.
gonna boom, boom, as it's just advancing between both you and Jakob, which will then bring us to the swarm's turn, which is this first one. Our swarm number 1 is going to come swarming into and encompassing Jakob. And Jakob, as it just swirls all around you, you can feel these tiny bits of bone and piece trying to find the chinks in your armor, which I don't think it will with a 10. So you're able to somehow you are warding off the bits and pieces of bone as they just fly around you and try to slam into the gaps in your armor. You're able to ward those off. Let's see. We're going to roll a quick die to see who this one pursues. All right. This one is going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Is that with an AOP range?
Yeah, I believe so. It would have been, yeah, it would have passed within your AOP, so if you want to take an attack roll at it. But it is just going to dash all the way up to you.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does not hit, unfortunately. As you're trying to avoid getting bits and pieces skewering you around, you try to like lash out with your greatsword, but it just kind of passes through it as it kind of arcs up over the blade of your greatsword. And then this last one is going to try to cut up Ella. And she seems to be doing pretty good for herself, smacking away pieces of the skeleton with these skeletal bits with her shield and maybe blocking some with her S-stock. I'm using the wrong arms because I am not left-handed. But that is then going to bring us to your turn, Jakob. You are surrounded by bits and bobs, my friend.
All right. I am going to go for the swarm that's surrounding me first.
Okay.
With my first attack. It's gonna be Great Weapon Master.
Okay. Make that attack roll.
That is a 15.
15 will hit. Also, for those of you currently surrounded by skeletal swarms, you are deafened.
Okay. Oh. Shit.
Yep.
Shit.
Math. 21.
21 points of damage?
Yes.
Alright. Solid thwack as you just send a chunk, like several of the bits and pieces of bones and skulls and other pieces of skeletons that comprise this swarm just flying off into the sands, and that where they come to rest and do not animate again.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it with the second Great Weapon Master.
Okay.
I'm gonna use a D8 for Precision Strike.
Sure.
Yikes. That's gonna be a 12. So
12 once again, unfortunately, does not hit as it seems to be just forming around your blade, like kind of going up and over, so you're not making any contact.
All right. That will be it for me.
Okay, you're gonna remain in your square. Okay, just want to make sure. That will then bring us to Gloob. You have seen all three of these swarm. One of the big guys come up and smack the crap out of Bart, and a couple of swarms engulf your other allies.
Okay. The last thing that Miss Conley said to me, though, is that we were running, or that she thought it was a good idea to run.
She thought it was a good idea. I believe, if I recall correctly, what she had said to call it to you was to try to get away and around them, to try to force your way away from them up the beach.
Okay.
Or not up the beach, but like forward into the dunes, was to just kind of like try to hug the side since they were coming from above you, but they also close distance very rapidly.
Right. Okay. I think Gloob is going to I don't know that they can't hear me.
Yep. For those of you that are within there, it is just clattering and crashing sounds of these bones slamming into each other and just creating wind everything just surrounding you.
Does it look like I have a chance of hitting my friends with them in there? Or do I know?
There's a lot. Roll a perception check for me real quick. Just don't roll bad.
Well, you
I
shouldn't have
I
said
guess it
last-
depends on bad, but how?
It's an 11.
It's 11. 11 is fine. Like there's a lot of bones and stuff to hit there. Like you could hypothetically, but you'd have to fuck up pretty bad. Is how you feel about it. Like it'd have to be like
Okay.
catastrophic.
All right.
There's a lot to aim at that is not your friends.
Gotcha. Well, I am focused on my friends, so I am going to shoot at the one that Jakob is currently just sort of
Okay.
Surrounded by. I'm gonna
Sure.
try to aim high so I don't hit his head.
To be fair, it's not yeah, it is kind of engulfing them. I guess it is a large creature, so it is kind of like up and over them and just all around them.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna try to hit the swarm that's around Jakob right now.
Okay.
Probably does not hit, unfortunately. 13 total.
A 13 just hits.
Oh, let's go.
Barely.
Let's go.
Good shit.
Nice.
All right. So actually, I'm gonna roll in Tailspire. Do I
Okay.
get sneak attack with Jakob threatening
He is threatening it. He is
Okay.
very much within it is within his threatened range. Absolutely.
Perfect. Not bad. 18 plus 5, I believe.
Plus
for
5?
23. Yeah.
Okay. So
So 23
Oh!
points of.
okay, I fucked something up. I almost forgot something. Jakob, how much damage did you do last round when you smacked it? Do you recall?
21, I believe. That'd be all slashing.
21. Okay. Yep. Sorry about that. And how much that was 20 how much total, Jones?
23 points of piercing.
23 points.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, there we go. Sorry. Forgot something important. Anywho,
Gotcha.
so your arrow coming through, taking similar to Jakob, shattering like a couple of the skulls as they kind of ricochet. Your bolt ricochets through the swarm, and the bits that it came into contact with lay still within the sand.
Okay. And then I will take Miss Conley's advice and move over here to the side. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then bonus action dash.
Okay.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So right there.
Okay.
And then turn around and reload my
Oh.
reload my
Oh
black
God! I was reloading the gat. All right. That is then gonna bring us to Julian. You have been surrounded by a mass of whirling bones that is deafening. Even just all the clatter and wind it creates around you.
And I didn't have the thing open when you moved it. Is this the same one that I shot, or is that other one the one that I shot?
The one currently around Jakob is the one that you had taken your initial shot at. Oh wait, yeah. This one is one of the other ones that has just kind of rushed up, like it went in a beeline and past your friends and up to you.
Because I did one volley at the big motherfucker and one volley at
Yeah, you took a shot at each of them.
And when I shot the first one, you said that my arrows seemed to be doing less.
It would seem that way.
All right. I am out of spell slots.
What you doing?
I'm looking to see if I can do something.
Sure. Sure.
My apologies. I will be swift as I can. Yes.
I want to hear
yes.
from a spellcaster. I'm out of spell slots.
To be fair, he's a hexblade, so
We hear all too often from this warlock.
be like this.
All too often from like all warlocks though.
From all warlocks, let's be real. From all warlocks.
Be like
All
that
right.
sometimes.
I am going to, for my interaction, draw my shield and use my action to manifest my bow into a warhammer. Bonus action to Hexblade's Curse the skeleton that is surrounding me.
Okay, so the
that is
swarm that's
surrounding me.
around you. Okay.
Yep.
All right, you do so.
And then I'm going to pray as a free action and end my turn.
You don't know whether it gets anywhere, but you feel a little better. All right, that's gonna end Julian's turn. That brings us to Bart. Shoot him, my friend.
All right.
You just got smackaroonied.
Yeah, that didn't feel good, and I'm probably about to eat another one. Am I within melee range of that swarm since it's a larger creature? Can I tell that?
No, the
That's-
swarm. No, not currently.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have made any attacks at anything except what is within it.
All right, I'm going to do some measuring real quick. All right. I'm going to take an opportunity attack from the big fella so that I can get
Okay.
all these folks within 30 feet of me. Before that, I'm going to take a smack at the one that has Ella with a
Okay.
16 to hit.
16 will hit.
All right.
Roll that damage.
Oof. 1. So 6 points of force damage to that one.
Okay.
And then I will move over here. Well, I guess I'll have to move to right there. Will that be enough?
Okay.
I don't know. You tell me, is that enough to get just the tip on it?
Of what?
That's the
Turn undead.
You're not quite sure.
Come on, DM. It's just the tip.
You're not
Alright.
quite sure. Eyeballing it, it may, it may
Sure.
not.
Maybe I'll take
Did
another reaction.
and
attack.
where was the area? What was your path?
I was right here, so
Mhm.
I'm going to try to move directly through him because I'm small,
Okay.
and then wiggle around to right
Okay,
there.
so you moved through its space.
Yeah.
Okay.
The
so
big one, not the swarm.
if you're going through, it's in a kind of like an awkward space here. It is occupying this top square, this square right here.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
it
I'm
is
coming
occupying that.
through this.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
and around.
All right, yeah,
to
you're
right
good.
there.
So the AOP missed because it rolled a 4 naturally. So
And then they all need to make wisdom saving throws. All 4 of them.
okay. Let's see here. Let's see this thing. So we'll do big guy. Fails. And swarm 1.
And
Swarm 1 natural 20s. Saves.
do what?
One of them natural 20 to save.
No.
One
Screw that
rolled a
guy.
natural 19.
Fuck
Bruh.
these guys.
Bruh.
And the other rolled a natural 18.
Well,
Bruh.
These are some really wise
Yeah.
skeletons.
that
What
was
is?
a
What are the
super waste of-
effects? What are the effects of it exactly? I can't quite remember.
They are feared for 1 minute. They do not get another save, and it ends if anyone deals damage to them.
Okay, they're feared. That's it.
Well, excuse me. Let me get
Yeah,
the
the
wording.
exact wording. I can't remember if they have to run away or not.
Yeah, they have to run away. Blah blah blah. The creature fails a saving throw. It is turned for 1 minute until it takes any action. A turn eater must spend its turn trying to move as far away from you as it can and can't willingly move to a space within 30 feet of you. It also can't take reactions for its action. It can only use the dash action to try and escape from an
Okay.
effect that prevents it from moving. There is nowhere to move. The creature can use the dodge action.
Okay. So it has to run away from you. All right,
Right.
for 1 minute. It doesn't get a repeat on its save, unless it takes
Nope.
damage, or just the damage just breaks it.
Damage, it just ends.
Okay, gotcha. All right. You produce your symbol slowly, and as holy white soft light explodes in this from it and around you, it engulfs all of these large skeletal monstrosities, and you see the big one just rear back and away from it, letting out a as it starts to turn away from you immediately. But the swarms themselves, after a brief a shift of their bone not consumption, but all the bones that they consist of, they return back to their swirling nonsense.
All right. And I'll just yell out because I don't know that these guys that are assigned to swarm are deafened, but I'll just kind of call out over the battlefield. Don't hit the ones if they run away. Just let them run. We'll take care of what's left.
Okay.
That's my turn.
You might not know that they're deafened, but as you ran past that one that's around Jakob, you definitely could tell it was loud. Like that's an easy observational thing. Like, that's some loud ass bones. God damn.
Like running by a wood chipper.
Basically. All right, and that ends. Right. Is that ending your turn?
That's my turn.
All right, that brings us to Ella. Ella is going to try to smack the shit out of this thing because she doesn't like being here. So we got attack number 1, which that's a natural 19, which is gonna be you plus 2 of you. Oh, that's kind of garbage. 11 down to 5, 3, 8. So we're just gonna keep that in mind. 8. Attack number 2 also is gonna land. There we go. Oh god, math is very hard sometimes. I should have just done it one at a time. 8, 6, 14, 7, 11, 18. What's that? 26. As you see Ella lashing out at the skeletons surrounding here, one sweep of her S-stock, another sweep of her S-stock, shattering the swarm currently surrounding her, as it just what few remain animated lift up once more and then all clatter into the sand. Yes. And she's gonna looking around, breathing heavily and seeing what's going on. Path of least resistance, because you're actively moving towards Julian, or no? Whatever. I mean, that's fine. 5, 10, 15. Moves her movement up over to come to assist Jakob here in just a moment. She's just kind of yelling. Good gracious. Don't move out of the swarms! Or, even though she knows they're deafened, but whatever. That's going to end her turn, bring us back to the top of the round. This thing's got to fucking run away. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55,
I have some terrible news.
60.
I'm not blinded, am I?
You're deafened.
I'm going to take my AOP at him.
Okay.
It hasn't gotten back to your turn yet, has it?
This was the top of the round.
The top of the round.
Yeah, but AOP's reset when it gets to their turn.
Does it reset on their turn or at top of the round? I always thought it was top of the round.
The way that it worked before, it was top of the round.
That's how I've always done it, because that's what my assumption was.
Gotcha.
Top of the round.
I thought it was via turn.
For now, we're gonna keep going with top of the round. We will revisit that, because if that's a rules misunderstanding on my end, we'll fix that and start running it correctly.
Player's Handbook says at their turn.
Okay, then never mind.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, I've just apparently have just misunderstood reactions for quite a long time, so you're good. So it makes it y'all see the big skeleton after the burst of light from Bart turn and just start going just along the sand. And it spends its entire turn, which brings us to our swarms. First one is around Jakob. It is going to try to wood chipper you, because that is the best analogy I think we've gotten for these things. That is going to be a 23 to hit you, Jakob. But what is this one? That is going to be for 9 points of slashing damage as they make their way past your armor in some places and are able to kind of like cut up your face a little bit and in the cracks. You're still, of course, reducing it by 3 for your heavy armor master. This thing does, however, move to engulf Bart. They are relatively intelligent, and it saw what you just did. So it cuts at you, Jakob, before avalanching over and surrounding and engulfing Bart. You're muted, Kent.
Yeah, I just said, oh no.
Does Miss Conley get a swing?
She actually does, because she hasn't used her AP. That's a natural 20.
Let's go!
Fuck it up. Get it.
That's actually that is a really good roll. That is almost completely max damage. 9, 18, 16, 22, 11, 29. And as it moves past her with a lunge, she just seems to skewer multiple skulls and make contact with the radiant energy currently billowing around her blade. And as it moves past her to encompass your square, Bart, it just collapses as some of them were burned away and then some of them were broken and shattered. Okay,
Awesome.
that made this
All
turn a
me.
lot shorter.
All me.
Yeah, that was a out of her dice, that was an 8 on the D8, a 6 on one of the D6s, and a 3 on the other D6.
Nice.
So it's a really good crit roll. I think that makes up. I think she crit last time as well and rolled really poorly, so that makes it a lot better. That leaves the one that is around you, Julian, which is going to do the same, and it is going to try to cut you up. That does not hit you.
But I'm so friendly.
With a 4 on the dice. Oh. And I'm so sorry, I skipped our last skeleton friend's turn, so he's about to get 2. My apologies, my friends. Or 1. The one he got skipped on because he was end of the initiative. It just clattering around you. You're able to hunker down and avoid it. Avoid the sharp bits there, Julian. And this one, as I believe it couldn't really see anybody else before, it was down here. Couldn't see a ton of people. It would have taken a shot at you, Gloob, as you fled from it. Or fled in a straight line.
Yeah.
That's a natural one. Oh, wait, no, it doesn't have a bow. This one
I
would
was
have been
about to
having
say,
to use
isn't
it.
this
That's
the
right.
one that
This is the one that its
bowstring
bowstring snapped. So
Yeah.
it would have been moving forward. 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. 10, 15. Just kind of getting up, wading into the skeletal swarm as you are the closest. God dang it. I don't want to grab you, big guy. There we go. As you are the closest prey, but it double moved, so it wouldn't have gotten attacked that round. Now we're back where we need to be. That'll bring us to Jakob.
All right.
Fuck him up.
Because I decided apparently to be complicated and not use the 5-foot box thing, I'm gonna have to measure to see where 30 feet is. Okay, it's right there. So I will put myself right there. And then I'm going to the 2 attacks. I can make. I know I asked this last time. I can make 2 ranged attacks, correct?
You can make 2. You can make 2 attacks of any kind as long as you have the necessary accoutrement.
Okay. And then I need.
You could the start of its base would be where your range is at. So from wherever you are, let me get my little measuring tape. So gosh darn it.
I just moved myself back. It's fine.
Yeah, this is where you would want. So right here would be about You're somewhere around 15 feet away from it, as apparently the measurement is going to be weird because of where he's situated.
Well, I was gonna throw a hand axe at the little boy skeleton first.
Gotcha. Sure.
You just call it a little boy skeleton.
Yeah.
Compared to the others, this one is kind of directly behind Julian, so I will say it's benefiting from at least half cover. Because it's sand, and so this would be like a slope, it's not quite standing right behind him like it would be. So
Well, does the 24 hit?
24 still hits, yeah. Goddamn.
Hell yeah.
24 will still hit.
Yikes. That's 6 points of damage.
If I recall correctly, that's enough. You're
Oh, hell yeah.
It goes spinning through the air, slamming into its skull, not like shattering it, but just about splitting it, as it's just the force of it just carries what remains of it backwards into the sand. We are not about to accidentally kill the big guy. That's not what we meant to do. There we go.
And then the next hand axe is, fuck. I'm gonna use my last 5 feet of movement because I didn't go here. Move back another 5 feet and throw a hand axe at the big guy.
Is there any particular reason you're moving farther away, out of curiosity?
I thought if something was so this is the range is 20 to 60.
Yeah, as long as it's within 20 feet of you, anywhere within 20 feet, you attack like normal. Outside of if it's beyond that, you attack at disadvantage.
Okay.
As I wasn't sure what you were doing, so I figured we would figure that out real fast.
Thank you.
No problem.
And then I'm gonna throw the second hand axe at the swarm.
Okay.
Which is gonna be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20, yeah, that hits.
And I'm going to menacing attack it with my last D8.
Sure.
Because I don't like the way it's looking at my boy Julian.
Okay.
Okay, that is going to be 14 points of damage and a DC 15 wisdom save.
It can't be frightened, so it's not going to make that saving throw.
Oh, well. Poop.
But it will take some of that damage.
Okay.
Your axe goes hurling through, and similar to as you've been seeing, you just knocking out or breaking and smashing some of the skeletons that comprise its body as they go flying off, no longer animate.
That will be the end of my turn.
Let's meet it for your turn. That will then bring us to Gloob. Gloob, you've gone dashing up past. You've seen Miss Conley swiftly deal killing blows to two of the swarms of skeletons, and you've seen the big one just go hauling ass away from Bart after he burst with holy light.
Man, I wish I could do that. All right, well, Gloob is gonna eye how far he is away from this guy real quick.
Okay.
Shit. What's my range again? I think my range is 80 feet, right?
That's a little long.
Need to check. I need to check what my range is real quick. It's 80 feet.
Yeah, it should be. Crossbow should be 80. It's a little shorter than the longbow, so it is just in range.
Wonderful.
Hell yeah.
In that case, I will take careful aim and spend my bonus action and movement to grant myself advantage on this attack.
Sure. Make that attack roll.
I just rolled a natural 1 and a 5, so that's fun. That brings it to a 13 total.
13 just hits.
Plus 1 because of chat. So 14.
There you go. That's enough. That's enough.
All right. Let's see. Disregard this damage. I grabbed too many 6s.
Okay. So
Disregard it.
we're gonna take the first 3. I'll say.
Oh,
we'll just
okay.
take the first 3. So that was a 7,
Right.
2, 3, and what? Do you have this still
I
up?
don't know. I clicked on something already.
Okay. Then just re-roll it. That's fine.
I think the last one was a 5.
I know the last one was a 5, but that was the one that was falling off. So that's whatever. That's fine. We'll just re-roll them.
Okay. I can't reset my dice. You know what? I'm just gonna roll it in person before I mess
There you
something
go.
up. All right. 2d6. Apologies for the wait. There we go. Okay, there's 2 6s on the sneak attack and a 6 on the d8.
Nice.
So that's 18 plus one more d6 for a 1, 19 plus 5 for 24 points of
24
piercing.
points of piercing.
Yeah.
Alrighty, very nice. Your crossbow bolt, you take your steady aim, and you just, for some reason, you feel like you should just a little bit higher, and you do. And that crossbow goes firing out, slamming through several more bits and pieces of skeleton. You see, like, you shatter a femur. Felt like you did pretty good, but it is still encompassing Julian. That will bring us,
Julian?
speaking of, to Julian.
Alright, well, now that I got my weird, watery black whalebone club looking thing, time to unencompass me, or try to. I'm
Sure.
gonna take 2 swipes.
Alright.
That is probably a miss. Let me double check my bonuses.
It should be close.
A 14 hit.
14 just hits, yeah.
Oh shit, really? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
these things aren't that hard to hit.
That is
Alright.
a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 points of bludgeoning damage
8
and
points of
2
bludgeoning.
points of necrotic.
Is that your?
I think.
Did you hex it, or you Hexblade's Curse? Hexblade's Curse just adds on to your
Oh,
as
well
your
then,
as your proficiency of damage to the attack. So your proficiency bonus is now 3, so it should be 3.
10 points of bludgeoning then.
10
on
or
the
it should be
first one.
11. Your proficiency bonus is
Yeah.
now plus 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool,
I
cool,
forgot
cool.
about that.
If the DM ever says you do more damage, you just say yes.
Yeah, you're right.
You're good. I've looked
You
at
are correct.
Hexblade a
That's
lot, so I do know.
Well, I just forgot that my bonus went up to a 3 because I'm so used to it being 2.
Okay, Julian, where previously it seems like some of these piercing and slashing attacks haven't quite impacted the bones quite as well as previously, your Eldritch Club hammer just smashes through, wreaking havoc, like just large swaths of the swarm now empty. Very nice.
Alright, and my
Goes
second
outwards.
attack was a 17 plus
17 will
7.
hit. That'll hit. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I don't have my shit pulled up like I should because I am the big dumb.
Julian says.
13 points of damage.
13
I'm wood
points.
chipping you.
13 points of bludgeoning.
All right.
Nice.
And with that, you just swing around in just a wide arc, smashing another wide swath, and it seems like just what's left just doesn't have enough of that necrotic energy to maintain its form as it scatters. It is dead.
Finally.
And
Nice.
alrighty, that will bring us. Are you gonna do anything else for your turn? You gonna use your movement?
I will bring myself online with my allies.
Okay. Also, remember to get the healing you got from killing the thing that you had Hexblade's
Oh,
Curse.
trust me, I have not
Okay,
forgotten.
just making sure. Just want to be certain. Alright. Now, will that be it for your turn?
Yes, that is
Wonderful.
all I can do.
Bart, that brings us to your turn. The majority, the visible enemies that you see currently have been dealt with. Is there anything you're wanting to do right this moment? Actually, is there anything else you guys are wanting to do right in initiative? Because right now you are not seeing any more skeletons rising, and that one is currently running. His turn for the next minute. Is anybody else wanting to do anything while you're still in initiative?
I'll just say to the party real quick. That one's going to be running for, I don't know, about a minute or so. If we want to get out of here and make a run for it, we need to do it now. Or
All right.
Glue, If not,
Yeah.
Gloom needs to hit it with an arrow before it gets too far away, and we kind of form up and get ready to take it on, one or the other.
All right, and it's
Are-
probably around this time they all do hear kind of distantly, like over some of the dunes, kind of off more to the left side, left from where you are standing, off to that side of the dunes where you guys have not been yet. You hear some distant as they sound. The sound is muffled, as you think perhaps some more undead have been disturbed within the dunes, but you cannot currently see them.
I mean, we're not doing too poorly. I'd like to find my hand axes, but it's not obviously a priority.
Alice
I
saying that.
mean, I think we need to go if we can. If we have a minute, and rather than turning this thing around and we have other ones coming, we need to go while we can.
We don't seem to have disturbed any that are in, and we seem to have dealt with all the ones that are in this area. If we are going to proceed, which we probably should, we need to go now. Hug the side that where we have already dealt with them.
DM, do we see where we need to go?
I mean, from a distance, y'all saw the dune that the dunes kind of seemed to make up that all of this end, like this cap, and y'all do know that the abbey is inland. So you can kind of see around, like you see that there's some dunes. You can still, more than anything else, you can still hear the water, and you can see some of like the rocky shelf that's off, like kind of you see the direction that is Galoob's left. So you're still kind of in the middle.
Let's just sneak around here to the edge. Try not to wake any more up. We don't know what we're going to be fighting further in, and if she's okay with letting these guys go for now, then we need to go with that.
We need to deal with the primary antagonists first. It's
I don't
good to
know
know
what
what's
that-
here. Your guards would not do well on their own.
Well, Ellie, you know more than the rest of us. If when that thing gets turned loose, is he going to come chasing right back after us? How dumb are these things?
Moderately intelligent, but mostly kind of think more bestial in mind. If they don't have smell, they can't hunt. If they can't see us or hear us, we should be okay to, especially if it's going to run for a minute. It should get some distance between us before it comes to its senses, as it were.
Well, if we only have a minute, less talking, more running.
Yeah, we need to move now, and if we're trying to be quiet, and she just kind of as she goes to kind of resheath her estoc, and the light cuts out as she slams it home. Let's go.
Okay.
Maybe we
I'll
should
lead the
stick
way again.
near the coast to the right to go less dunes to disturb if we do make a mistake.
That sounds wise.
Right. I'll run by and tap tips with my spiritual weapon and just kind of like turn it up like doop.
Or say tap tips again.
Y'all see just the large skeletons go thump 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 thump, just like as it's, despite it running on sand, it's just that big that you can still hear the impact of its footfalls for a good second as it goes up and over the dune and just keeps going.
For the record, I'm putting the shield away and remanifesting my bow as we go.
Okay, very well. And are you guys trying to re-stealth back up?
Yes.
Okay. Everybody give me those stealth rolls.
Advantage or no, DM?
Okay.
It would seem kind of, yeah, because it's supposed to be like a light stepping, so yes.
Okay.
Oh hell
That's
yeah!
not bad.
6
Total?
6 total.
Oh
I
goodness.
for once actually got like a decent for having disadvantage 11.
Okay, so I got 6, I got 11, I got 16 for Ella. What else I got?
We got a fat nat 20.
Okay, to a total of
Nice.
what? So
A
curious.
total of
I still need the whole number.
22.
Okay, and then I heard 20 something from you as well, Gloob.
28.
28. Very
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Okay. Some of you struggling more than others. Y'all are making your way out around here. Gloob, are you still trying to maintain kind of that forward position that you were previously?
I am.
Okay. You go ahead and kind of keep yourselves moving as you go. Y'all are trying to go all the way up towards this coastal area, towards the side.
Right. Even getting off the sand if I can.
I'd say you can. This is pretty representative of how it is. Like there's a like shark like kind of rocks like sticking up and out over the side, and if you're getting on the rocks, you can definitely hear the crashing. If you would take a glance over the rocks and a pretty, I know it's not that way here, but y'all are starting to slope upward a little more gradually than I have here on the map. And so y'all are currently probably getting about 25 feet above surf, as it's kind of sloping upwards from the beach. So y'all
Can we see off in the distance if that giant is like disturbing any more skeletons?
As it's running, y'all are roll a perception check. Any who would like to.
You know, I'm on fire today. 11.
Okay. 11. And what was that?
I would like to look for not necessarily that skeleton that's running away, but anything that's in the sand that I might be able to see, like recently disturbed spots where they've crawled down in or anything like that.
Okay. Roll a perception check for me.
13 on the other one.
13 for you. So I have an 11 and a 13 for spotting the big one. No good?
15.
15? Okay. Gloob and not Gloob, I'm sorry. Jakob and Bart, y'all aren't quite sure. You can't see the big one anymore. You can still hear the distant like a little as it sounds farther away as you guys have kind of hooked it more to the right. Julian, you can still kind of vaguely see it as you guys are moving. It looks like it's starting to slow down, like its pace, and you can see some vague movement, kind of like some like rising up out of the sand next to it, and some kind of like moving. You can see some that kind of like sliding down the sands in the distance. And Gloob, what was your total?
7.
7. It looks like a lot of sand.
Looking over and seeing that, I'm just gonna lean down to everyone and whisper, "Definitely, let's not go that way."
Okay.
How far were we trying to stay from Gloop? I know we had talked about it last session.
I am trying to stay 60 feet in front of the group.
Okay. So we'll kind of keep trail. Yeah, y'all are around 60 feet behind right about now. So y'all are still going up. Gloob, you are right next to this big old dune as you were next to it, and you couldn't really spot anything particular. Just like lots of sand.
Okay. I'll just with my stealth trying to climb below the rocks and stay as stealthy as I can.
Yeah, y'all are all kind of going along these rocks. I will say it's not quite difficult terrain, but you are having to kind of step a little more carefully out on these rocks because since they are lower down, that means they're closer to the surf. So do get a little wet as the water tide's kind of slamming into the rocky sides of this.
If at any point it seems like my heavy metal clad friends in the back are going to have a hard time standing, I will position myself back into the sand. I don't want them. I don't want to see Bart, little troll doll, falling off of a cliff like at all.
Yeah, y'all are good.
So I'm gonna go ahead and keep moving. Glue. DM, you just tell me if I need to stop moving them.
Y'all. 4.
Don't worry. Bart's not gonna put himself in a position where he's gonna fall off a cliff.
All right. Y'all seem to be doing pretty okay so far.
We're wait. 60 feet, guys. You're on top of my head.
Yeah, y'all are really overtaken. So.
All right.
Cody is floating. There he goes. Y'all successfully made it this far. You still don't seem to have disturbed anything else as of yet.
Okay. It looks a bit precarious to keep on the rocks right here on the map. Yeah. Is that indicative of what's in front of me?
Not necessarily. I kind of put this on here. I'm still not sure how I feel about this, but this is just kind of to indicate this does seem to be where it kind of is sloping up a little more sharply.
Okay.
It seems to be kind of laying on more settled earth.
Gotcha. In that case, I'll still stick away as far as I can from the sand and just keep inching forward
Okay.
and looking out for any sort of movement or anything that might see us.
Okay. All right. That was some lucky rolls there, my friends. Yeah. And y'all are able to kind of make it up this section, and for ease of not making y'all travel across miles of sand, because that's kind of ridiculous, and that's what the module originally wanted for y'all. Y'all, as you're making it up, you start to see like tufts of grass and other kind of bits of what plants would survive on not entirely sand. As it starts to kind of go up, there's bits and tufts of more as you start to exit the dunes themselves. And so we're gonna go back here and go back, and hopefully that doesn't look fucked up. Okay, y'all's cameras behaved for once. It's a fucking miracle. But yes, and we'll change up the music. So no, we may
That's
still
super
need this.
tense.
Yeah, we don't quite need all that, but we need something, right? We need something.
Something.
We want this sound. Just listen. Sure, that sounds adequately kind of creepy enough. All right. So, as I said, y'all kind of are starting to exit the dunes area. As you kind of glance back, you can see the towering form of the skeletal behemoth. Kind of, you see it moving through the dunes in the direction, slowly just back and forth as it is making its way kind of diagonally back towards where it had previously encountered you guys and begun to do battle. And you see swarms of other ones kind of spreading out as they walk along, and just spreading out and among the dunes, just seeming generally agitated and on the hunt for anything living. Like their heads jerking up whenever they hear a early morning gull or something of that nature. But y'all appear to have this music. I don't know how I feel about it, but we will stick with it here for a minute. It just really started going. I was like, huh. But y'all are exiting onto like more patchy areas of sand. There are tufts of grass and other beach plant life, and as you guys get further inland, what would y'all like to do?
Well, Miss Conley, there's a lot of undead on that beachfront. I'm beginning
Would
to
appear
think that
so.
you might get the better end of this deal if we got to take care of all of them.
Possibly. There are a lot of them, and they prove quite a threat to anybody trying to push up the beachhead. I definitely see why the mariners have not made any action themselves. Now she looks around. There's some of you that look a little worse off than others. How's everybody feeling?
If we find a place to lay low for a little bit, I'm out of juice.
Well, we may or may not find that. So if we don't have anything on us right this moment, I can do a little bit of first aid. That'll be a little quicker than a rest. Those who need it, come here.
It's not the injuries.
No?
I feel a little sore, but not the worst that I've ever been.
Very well.
I could use a little bit of first aid. I mean,
Sure.
after all, trying to preserve our, special skills and abilities for necromancers themselves.
Your magical abilities are more vital than my supplies. She kind of rehooks her shield on the back of her belt and slings off her packets. Quickly now. And she kind of, anybody who needs it or not, very manly, all of you I know, pulls out some salves and bandages and stuff and kind of jerks down parts of your armor and applies them, kind of wrapping some of the cuts. That's a shitty roll, but you get back. Oh god, I believe that should be 12 points of HP.
Holy shit, those are really great medical
Oh,
supplies.
11 points of HP. I'm sorry.
Ew.
And she just kind of
I'm
wraps
okay
you up
with
in
that.
places like a poultice, like she pulls out from like a little jar and puts it on there before wrapping the bandage around some of the open cuts that were kind of left on you from the skeletal behemoth that slashed across your chest. That should hold you up for a while. Now the medicines and stuff involved can make you unwell, so we won't be able to do quite that effective for a while, but helps keep you on your feet.
Oh, thank you.
Is that
Appreciate it.
everybody?
That was to him. Nobody else asked for it. Everybody else was like, "I'm fine." So
Yeah,
Oh, you-
Julian's almost full. So.
okay,
I mean,
Anybody
so am I,
else?
but if she's giving out healing for free, I'm
she is.
I
So,
scraped my
wh-
elbow.
She said, "You did get
Was that the
shot a
Bart
couple
or
times."
Jakob?
That was to Bart.
Okay.
So Jakob, are you also needing some healing?
Yes.
Okay. You get a lot more. You heal for 14 points of HP.
All right.
You
Thank
said
you.
that only works
I could
the first time.
the medicines and stuff applied can make you ill if applied more than once a day.
Well, you just keep that ready for the next time something skewers me.
Sure. Anybody else? Gloob, I believe your name is.
Yeah, no, I guess my
Very well.
elbow will be okay.
Very
We'll
well.
save it in case someone really needs it later.
Well, I could use it, and she applies some to herself as well. Shit.
Fuck you, I'm going to use it.
She applies some to her own wounds.
Damn it.
Julian gestures at his empty spell slots.
See, but yes, I don't think we should remain too close to the dunes if we can avoid it. If we could get, I understand that your abilities seem to tire you out a bit, but we should probably move further.
Rapidly.
I think we should probably move a little further inland if we can before that.
Very well.
I'll probably, as we start getting moving, like, so, I think I might have asked this before, but do undead
Yes.
kind of sometimes work like vampires in the stories? Or like if you kill the head necromancer, the rest of them just go back to being bones? Is that generally how it works?
Not in my experience. They tend to they provide the energy that raises them, that gives them that farce of life, but after that they mostly are using their power to keep them on a leash. Once
Yeah,
the
but
necromancer is
it's
gone, they seem to run rampant.
Yep.
What was that, Julian?
Let's say.
That makes our jobs a hell of a lot harder.
It doesn't make it easier, no. Also, I misspoke. I'm sorry. Those medicines can make you ill if consumed more than once, like every few hours, at the least. So, sorry. So, missed a bit on the end of that. But yes. So we will have to work our way through at least some of them. Unfortunately, going straight for them, we'd still have to get back out.
All right.
I mean, you're the undead slayer. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, we can leave them on here whenever we're done getting this somewhat cleaned up.
As far as I'm aware, that they do need it moderately cleaned up, at least, as they apparently would like to use this island for something. I don't particularly care.
We should probably kill the big one at least.
Yeah, but I mean that's probably something we should do later on.
Well, yeah.
Right.
We have
Right.
mortals to kill.
Well, we might be able to convince them to turn themselves into the right authorities.
Why would they do
Yeah, I'm sure the necromancer cult is going to be very reasonable, but we can try.
Yes.
We
yes.
might be able to reason with them, a little bit of subterfuge and smooth talking, or plan B is Julian or Jakob or somebody chops off somebody's leg or something crazy like that and said, "All right, well, who else wants to be a pogo stick?"
I must say that while that may be a short-term solution from removing them from the island, they will return to their perversions upon arriving anywhere else.
Sure, and we can
It's a
deal with them
long-term
there.
solution. Oh, my bad.
No worries. All right, we can deal with them if we need to, but right now, all we need is the island. So, if we can say, hey, there's another island somewhere else. I think I read about one called Gilligan's. Move them there.
Don't know if we quite agree on that subject.
Sure. But then you're in a one versus what?
Well, regardless, we told her we'd help clear out the island of undead in return for her helping us with the Swahagan, so we're kind of in the hell at this point. We're probably pretty in neck deep, so.
That is true.
Let's be completely honest. How many times have we tried talking at work? I can tell you. Once.
Yeah, there's that one time that Bart here convinced those fishmen to leave us alone after
That is the
we
once.
killed the alligator. Yeah.
That's right. And nobody died. Super worth it. We can always, I mean, I'm not saying it's going to work. Heck, I don't think it's going to work, but they definitely should try.
Hey, let's make, all right. It's kind of like, are you going to be okay for that to work? Like, we tell them to move an island, and then you can go to that island and go get them. I don't care as far as that much goes. We just tell them to move islands. I don't need you starting a fight right after that's agreed upon.
Well, let's be completely honest. If they go and they start moving off the island, I'm sure I can get word back to Saltmarsh pretty quick to tell them to go deal with the people on that ship. I kind of feel like necromancers might not be too much of a threat on a boat.
Perhaps not.
Can only carry so many bodies. Not a lot of dirt to bring them up out of and things like that.
How do you propose to remove them from the island anyway?
But do they not, like OOC, do they not have like a boat or anything at the
You
fort?
didn't see anything. Y'all saw a ruined dock. And that
Well,
was
hell,
it.
if they don't have a boat, that's even better. We can come and give them a nice ride, and once they're all on board, we just take a detour right back to some stockades.
I'm not opposed to that option.
I think we're getting ahead of ourselves anyways. Let's go see what we're dealing with.
Very well. At the very least, get away from these damned dunes.
Agreed.
Yes, that.
Alright. Yes, sir.
If there is no obvious destination or anything, we will continue on inland, and I'll continue to try and be stealthy.
Okay. Sure. As y'all kind of have stopped to converse and stuff and patch up a little bit. Y'all want to give me another round of stealth checks if y'all are still continuing to try to be unobtrusive.
Hell yeah, natural 20 and another one of those without the 0.
Aw.
Ooh.
I got a natural 20 and a 13, which turns into a 15.
That's still pretty fucking good.
Yeah,
So,
but I don't
4.
get a natural 20.
So we got a 4. We got, what else?
An
Dirty
18.
Dirty 20, 18,
15.
and a 15 for Jakob. 15. And we had another dirty 20 for Ella. We're doing pretty good. Y'all are creeping along. Bart, you just, no matter what you do, you can't seem to keep from clank, clank, clonk. And you just like, your greaves seem to just find just the right spots on rocks and bits of driftwood as you walk along, no matter what you do. It's creating just a bit of clatter.
I don't think they expected me to have quite this much muscle in the stomach area. It's not sitting right on me.
I like to imagine that Bart doesn't even try to stealth. He's just like happily plonking along, like pipe in mouth.
Hands clattering.
Yeah.
Whistling.
Kinda. He's doing his best to creep along, but the rest of you are doing quite well. Kind of like walking over, kind of holding down some of his pans as you walk. Like, I wish we had thought of something to tie those down. Are they strictly necessary to have brought along for this venture? But as y'all walk along, and you begin to see, not because y'all have continued to go up this side, kind of hugging that edge. You can kind of see off, like closer to the center, you start to see a path that just kind of forming out from the sand as y'all are entering more dirt and stones and stuff, that it kind of winds along centrally, going up kind of that middle path of the island, going around larger bits of rock and stuff. And y'all are traveling along for a good bit. It's a sizable island, but y'all are moving more, but it's not giant, but y'all are moving along more slowly, as you're trying to be quiet. Can I get a round of perception checks from anybody who happens to be paying attention, who's trying to kind of keep on the lookout?
Let's go, boys. Natural 20.
All right,
19
very nice.
plus 8.
That's 21.
I rolled a natural 20 and you're higher than me. Still.
Sorry.
Not a natural 20.
Not a natural 20? Okay, hold on those totals for just a moment, fellas. Let's see here.
That's a total of 24 for me.
All right. I forgot to pull something up, so I kind of fucked up. So 24.
27.
Okay, 27. Is there anybody below 20 right now? All right, and what was your total? 5?
12.
12, 5.
Hell yeah.
Okay, everybody but you two. As y'all are going along and you're kind of keeping the scope out. Everybody but the two of them rolled over 20, including your NPC. So y'all on fire. But as you're going along, you see all of a sudden scuttling down, not necessarily scuttling, but quickly moving on all fours, a large, like dark charcoal gray form that is rapidly kind of going down, stopping, swinging its head around, like a big creature, not like large as in size category, but a big creature with that dark charcoal skin. You can make out like long claws that are digging into parts of the dirt and grasping and throwing up rocks in some places. This wide bestial stance as its head swings around. You make out large jagged fangs and a long curling tongue that kind of seems to whip out, almost tasting the air as its head swings around on the other side, before scurrying off far, like going along farther off. You see making it onto a rock farther down the path, standing up on it, doing the same, not seeming to note the lot of you currently.
What size classification was this creature?
Medium creature, but on the large side of medium.
Did it appear to have eyes?
It did. It appeared to have like a basically humanoid form, just on all fours for the purposes of movement. Like it had distinct like shoulders and like large muscular structure.
Just wait. Let's see if we can let it. Maybe it'll just pass by.
And it seems to. It just gets a little farther down, stopping every 20 feet or so. Head swinging around. Searching for something, you're sure. Before moving on down, farther along. And quite frankly, it didn't seem to make much noise. It eventually leaves your guys' sight.
Well,
Yeah.
what was Miss Conley? Do you know what the fuck that was?
I'm not quite sure.
So not undead then.
Probably so. It resembled a ghast, but that was faster. They're usually not quite so driven to one thing. Seems quieter. They're not quiet beasts.
Great. Super undead. Wonderful. Exactly what we want.
I certainly hope not. We should be careful moving forward.
I just kind of give her exasperate, like, yeah, I've been trying to be careful. Sort of
Yes.
look.
Extra careful on your end. You're a bit loud.
Maybe fill us in on what a ghast is.
They are large beasts, larger undead. He's still humanoid in nature. They good gracious. Woo! My goodness, I had everything I wanted pulled up. Big, large, clawed hands. They go in. They have that tongue. It's very distinctive. If you didn't, I assume some of you noticed. At least some of you appear to be looking the wrong way. But the fangs as well. They hunt sometimes in small groups, sometimes not. They give off a terrible, terrible stench. It can be debilitating at times, depending if you're able to get too much of it in your lungs. But the claws seem to. I don't know if it is what it is exactly, but it can be quite. It can cause your muscles to freeze up, making you easy prey for the individual or for the pair or the trio. They find you, rip whoever they find apart, devour them, and move on.
All of that is terrible.
It is. They are horrific creatures. And they, like most undead, some things don't seem to work as well on them. I can still seem to be fairly effective against them, but I have seen those who dabble in poisons or some of the more necrotic magics that don't seem to do much good, but a lot of that is similar for a lot of undead.
That's all very useful information.
They are unfortunately also a bit smarter than those skeletons that we were fighting. So,
Any good news? Any weaknesses?
weaknesses? None that I'm aware of. You just gotta kill them. Your abilities, I've had run into a few holy men and women who have done battle with them. They still seem to affect them for the most part. They seem to do a little better against it, though, than some of the dumber undead. Maybe it's their intelligence that lends them strength, or maybe some other infernal machinations that allow them to resist some of the holy abilities.
All right.
Awesome.
We should
Yes.
be
Death is a weakness of most things. So
re-death in their case, but
Yeah.
can I get just a round of wisdom checks from a lot of you? I say from a lot of you, from the lot of you.
I was gonna say I don't know if this is where you're going with this, but the long tongues lashing out remind me of the things that were in the bottom of the boat. If
They
that's
do.
where.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's where I'm going with that. Yep,
22.
easily enough.
I got a 12.
12,
18.
18. This was not long ago, so no. I mean, you Jones remembered, so I'll give you a little bit of leeway. But what was the total? Just out of curiosity.
Just a straight wisdom check.
Yeah,
6.
6. You remember tongues seem familiar. Long lashing tongues seem familiar, but you're not quite sure where.
That's great because that's all
Yep.
Jones remembers too.
Yep, that's
The
fine.
tongues seem-
Wait.
Though,
So did the 22?
yeah,
spark the memory?
absolutely. The 22 and the
then I'm-
18, definitely like, oh, those.
that's
That sounds like
immediately-
what she's describing, like what was in the bottom of those boat.
Yeah. Looking at
Jakob-
Ella.
Yeah, you're more in the like sounds familiar, but you also weren't there for most of the combat with those things, so you weren't quite as familiar with them. So that's fair.
Yeah, he's gonna look at Ella and be like,
Would they be something like this?
and then give her like a summarized description of that encounter.
That sounds like them. Yes. I'm not sure how they ended up on a boat, but
We've killed them before, Gloob.
that is good. Means you're a little more prepared. I don't know what is up with that one, but
You said they
Nothing
were supposed to be more intelligent?
they're significantly more intelligent than the zombies and skeletons that you find elsewhere, but they're still
Maybe.
bestial-minded.
Okay, these are pretty dumb. I kind of tricked them by. Well, never mind. Don't worry about it.
That's fine. They are smarter than others. That doesn't make them geniuses.
Sure.
And to be fair, you've tricked some pretty smart people too, so.
It's always commendable.
Oh yeah, we're just standing here. We should probably keep going.
Agreed. It should have made
That
its
would sound
way
better,
pretty
yeah.
far down, but I doubt that it spends its time on the dunes very much. So,
Would it not be better to kill it and ambush it so we don't have to worry about it coming at us from behind or when we're not expecting it?
it's not necessarily a bad idea. If we notice it coming next time.
Yeah, I think if that thing's just out there running around willy-nilly hunting for nothing in particular, the real danger is there being more than one of it. If it spots us, lets out a holler, and then we got 7 or 8 of them things coming after us, then we're going to be in a pickle.
Just let me go ahead and I'll keep an eye out.
If we see it again,
I'm gonna reach over and with black water coming from the ground and coalescing into the image of a hunched over young child, just kind of like hugging itself in a fetal position.
looks tasty for one of these things, right?
Are you casting
Minor illusion.
Minor Illusion?
I can also do sounds,
Possibly.
maybe. Never tried.
That it may get its attention. Maybe enough. Doesn't hurt to try.
I kind of let it splash down and sink back into the sand.
Very well. So, do you wish to try to ambush the creature or move on?
I don't like the idea of getting pounced in the back. But ultimately,
That's fair.
democratic decisions.
I got to work on your wording there, Julian. Your phrasing's a bit off, but I think I know it. I think I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Oh, you're picking up what he's putting down, huh? Oh my.
Scrabbles at the sand.
It's
Um,
it's taken all of my willpower not to make a knob pun.
We saw this thing disappearing up the path, like the
It
direction
was
we're
going,
going.
no, it was heading down towards the dunes.
Oh, okay,
This was coming, it was, y'all were basically doing this.
gotcha.
So if we see it again, let's make it go away.
Sure.
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with that.
All right.
Very well. Let's continue then.
Let's keep
With-
on going.
As much care as possible. Alright, if I can get another round of stealth checks from everybody.
18 and 4.
4,
It's a
another
natural
4.
one.
Yeah, so 6 total.
I was rolling portents. I'd be on fire right now. That's a 2 and an 18, so
18 total.
29.
29?
No,
Very nice.
29.
Alright.
Just for the Saturday campaign, thank you.
Yeah.
What and what
Natural
was
one.
yeah, and so I had a natural 1 from Jakob. And what was yours, buddy? You're not
11.
So it looks like you're gonna get your wish of fighting some ghasts. Are we still next to that cliff?
y'all said y'all have not said you're not still hugging that side. So y'all have gotten steadily higher as this most of this has been sloping up. At least for the moment, from where y'all are leaving, it's still on a slope up, and it has gotten higher, and you're looking at what they were talking about of like 100-foot drop, and it is into crashing waves upon spiked rocks and whatnot down below of a pretty sheer cliff. So y'all begin to make your way along.
Miss Conley,
Yeah.
how good are these things at climbing?
I'm not quite certain, but they are very strong. They tend to do well. The claws, depending on what it is, they could claw into it and pull themselves up, I'm sure.
I just didn't know if maybe if we hugged this cliff a little bit more, if we got in trouble, Yaka might be able to just grab one.
Throw it off
throw
the
them
side.
off the edge. Yeah.
It's not a terrible idea. Perhaps. Definitely
I read
something
this
to keep in mind.
Read this one book called Tremors. It's got some bullets in it, and they kind of use some magic to spook them off the edge of a cliff. So maybe we can somehow, get them to just jump off the edge or something like that. I don't know.
Very well. Keep that
As
in
he
mind.
says that, little girl up. Oh wait, no, never mind. Ignore that because I can't do animated. Gotta get those better illusion spells.
Alright. Okay. Alright. Y'all travel. For a time. Y'all are getting on. The path is not. I say the path since y'all are not on the path. Is beginning to level off as you guys continue to go up. You seem to kind of reach the crest of this island. You're plodding along in. If I get a quick round of perception checks, real quick.
Sure. Yeah, I'll take those all day.
Wow.
Alright. 12,
Dirty
25.
20.
25. What were the other two?
30 20.
Dirty 20. Julian?
Another 11.
11. Yeah. Let me roll for Miss Conley. That's pretty good.
See,
16.
this is what I get for getting 2 nat 20s last session.
It'd be like that sometimes.
Oh,
I do.
Man.
So, as y'all are walking up, this was not a particularly hard check. Though, as long as everybody rolled above a 10, you do see kind of in the distance, farther along, small bits of smoke rising. You can see a few jutting pieces of what look like maybe burnt wood and maybe some stone that is crumbled. You can't spot whole buildings, but you can spot palls of smoke that are coming up, and that is basically as you guys crested the rise and leveled off. You're no longer looking up a hill. You're seeing what may be some signs of life, buildings, what may have used to have been buildings. You do think back on pirates were spotted attacking or fleeing, at least maybe a battle or of some kind with these cultists. And on that note, can I get your marching order?
Gloob was up first scouting.
Okay.
And Julian probably would have been second because he has the bow.
Okay.
I'll be in the middle.
All
I'm
right.
coming back.
Up the road, clinking down, and so everybody can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has to get in the back.
Yep. Jakob was in the back when Miss Conley was kind of in between Bart and Jakob. And as y'all are going, and you see you're seeing the smoke, and you kind of begin to wonder what all happened. Jakob, you just suddenly hear just a snarler, and as a creature, and actually make that one first, as a 23, as that same charcoal black creature just lunges out of you from what is starting to become the pre-dawn, but still not quite, as it rakes its claw across your back.
Oh shit! This thing had an above 25 stealth check.
It did.
Okay.
Yep. It's gonna be for 13 points of slashing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Is that magical or not?
That is not magical. I will be sure to specify. Don't worry.
I do not like this.
Oh boy.
24.
24. You feel just not venom, not poison, but something that enters through the wounds that it leaves on you from its claws, but you're able to just tense up your muscles and just shake it off as your muscles started to tense up. And because this was its surprise round, it did also get its bite with a 27 to hit. That one
So
is...
like CR half for sure.
Absolutely. That's another 12 points of slashing damage and 1 point of necrotic damage. As its fangs just kind of like it clawed you and continued its advance and came up and just sunk its teeth into this area, kind of like on your, right in the meat of your shoulder and back, and just kind of ripped out a chunk of your flesh.
Ouch. At least you
Alright,
negated
then.
6, right?
Indeed. Now, this one, however, is going to be theater of the mind. Apologize for everybody at home, but if I could get everybody to roll initiative for me.
All right. Okay. I'm looking pretty good. How's everybody looking?
So not an 11, so that's nice.
I'll be going last.
There's not a number. There's just I'm gonna let you know where I am.
Okay. All right. So we're gonna start from the top, 25 to 20.
22.
22 for Gloob. All right, that's pretty good.
He says pretty good because this motherfucker just rolled
No,
like a 37.
it did not. It did not. Don't worry. Can I get a 20 to 15?
17.
17. What was yours, Bart?
15.
15. What's your dex, Julian?
2.
Oh, sorry.
Plus 2.
Plus 2, so that's a 14.
No, 15 for plus 2.
Oh, 15 for a plus 2. Gotcha. I was like, huh? Oh, yeah, that makes... Oh, yeah, the rules of D&D. All
Oh,
right.
yeah, the rules. Forgot about this.
Yeah.
I'll be right back before we get into this.
Yeah, you're good. And you said you had a 15, though, right, Bart? I believe that's what he said. So,
Yeah.
and what was yours there, Jakob?
4.
It's pretty rough.
Nice.
All right. So, I'm going to change up our music, though, now that we're in battle real quick. I'm going to use Tailspire to do that. But, you know, what can you do? We're going to go back to ambush, since y'all are getting ambushed.
Again.
Actually, I'm bored of that one. Let's choose a different one.
I do have to see Metal 2 is a fun one.
Metal 2? Let's do
That's what y'all were
Metal 2.
listening to on Saturday.
Let's do that one. That one's a good one. If it'll start. There it is. Hell yeah. All right. So, starting off our combat here is a little bit of a surprise. I wasn't quite sure y'all were gonna have this one. So with our top of the round, Gloob, you've just heard a snarling, just as the thing pounces on Jakob at the back of y'all's line. And I should have asked this earlier. Were you trying to maintain a similar distance of what you were when you guys were within the dunes ahead?
That'll depend on our terrain. Or were there trees to break line of sight
Not
off the side of the path?
Some stunted, smaller trees. Mostly there are rocks. There are a few like larger ones, nothing super huge. But where y'all are at, very rarely.
Okay.
You'd probably run into a couple that were big enough to block line of sight, but mostly not so much.
All right. In that case, I would have been about 60 feet in front of them if there was nothing to really
Okay.
break up line of
So
sight.
if you're about 60 feet ahead, that means
Mhm.
you're probably a grand total of 70 feet. 75 feet from this creature, because y'all were kind of strung out in a line of about 5, 5, 5, 5, and front was 60 from you. This thing is all the way
Okay.
in the back, so you're about 75 feet from this creature.
All right, hearing Jakob yell out, I'll just sort of turn around, look for him, and if I need to, I'll run across the path and just sort of get a diagonal angle on this thing. Hold
Okay.
up the crossbow.
Easy enough to do.
I'll hold up the crossbow and I'll go for a shot on him. I've moved this round, so I'm not going to be able to steady aim on him, but I am going to try to take a shot. 10 plus, I think 8. Yeah, 18 to hit.
18 to hit. That will hit.
Perfect. And he is within melee of Jakob.
He is within
correct?
melee of Jakob, yep.
Perfect. Eesh, not good. 3, 6, 8, 13 points of piercing damage.
13 points of piercing. That's not bad at all. All right.
Yep.
Your crossbow bolt's like slamming into one of its like shoulders, where it's now, you now see where it had been traveling before on like all fours. It is like has kind of risen to its full height, like a bit hunched at the shoulders as it has attacked Jakob, and so it's standing solidly taller than Jakob, even hunched. Your crossbow bolt slams into its shoulder, rears back a little bit, letting out a snarling as it a little bit of pain.
Can I use the rest of my movement to break line of sight with this thing, maybe behind a boulder or something that's around?
I'd say easily enough. You probably moved about 10 feet out, so you have about 15 more feet of movement. With this, the distance between you and stuff, I'd say easily enough, because you're a small creature. You could get to something that's small enough.
Okay. And if I can bonus action hide, I would.
Go ahead and roll a stealth check.
Oh, not good. That's only a 17.
17. All right.
Mm.
I'll keep that in mind. All right. Is that be it for your turn?
Yep, that's it.
All right. That is going to bring us to Ella's turn, who was immediately in front of Jakob, who, hearing you cry out, is going to turn and just very quickly doing the same thing as she did before, drawing her sword and letting it run across at least a portion of her forearm. As she does, as it lights with a kind of wavering white radiant light, kind of immediately stepping around off to the side of it to make 2 attacks at it. First one is going to super whiff. Second one is not. Let me just double check these things. Yeah, okay. That's very good. 6, 8, 13, 21. There we go. As the sword just kind of lashing out across this thing, as it just shrieks and jerks back from her, as it leaves not just bleeding on its chest, but you see burning as the radiant energy cuts across it. Which I did do that right now. 8. Yeah. Oh wait, no, not quite right. 26, 17. Okay. Perfect. And she's just kind of holding her ground, kind of getting up shoulder to shoulder with you, Jakob. Actually, no, she's gonna do her other thing that she can do. That I forgot because I haven't gotten to do it yet. That's really good. This thing. Quick question. I know we've discussed this recently. Who wins an equal athletics check?
Status quo.
Status quo. So it just stays. Okay.
Just stays.
So as you know, she whiffs one of her initial stab before slashing across its chest, and then stepping into it and slamming her shield into the chest of this thing, seemed to try to like bowl it over, and it just seems to hit, and they both just maintain their position before she's forced to just kind of take a step back. But that will end her turn. Bring it to its turn. She just smacked the absolute shit out of it. So let me actually roll that. And then it's going to be making its 2 attacks at her in a fit of rage. Which, 18, that first one, the claws scraping across her shield as she steps backwards. But its bite landing. 8, 10. Just taking a chunk out of her, similar to you, Jakob. She like the claws glancing across the net, lunging in and kind of biting into her side. Before. Oh! Whoops, I should have done that before. I forgot that was a thing it had, but she succeeds anyway, so we're good. Coughing a bit at when she first steps into an area near it. She seems to be okay. It takes its slash and its bite. All right, it's gonna kind of maintain its position there as it kind of like rears back a little bit, bring us to Bart.
Okay. How close to the edge of the cliff are we?
It depends how close we all want, because if you were staying like right on the very edge, it would have been more difficult and it was a little dangerous. So if y'all moved in at least a little bit to where it wasn't, probably somewhere in the realm of like 15 feet.
Bart, you had a 15 initiative?
Yeah.
Sir.
Did I accidentally not put you in there, Julian? Julian, what was yours, buddy?
17 with a dex of 15.
17 with a dex of 15. I'm sorry, you would have been immediately after Ella. So actually before the ghast, but that's fine. If you want to go right now, maybe
Yes.
hey, we'll get to retroact something.
I mean, I'm going to be kind of dashing off to the side to get an angle on it so that I'm not shooting my friends and then put 2 arrows in it.
Alright, roll 2 attack rolls for me.
That is going to miss. And that is definitely not going to miss. That is a 19 plus
That'll
7.
hit. Yeah.
Okay.
What was the first roll?
It's a 3 plus 7.
Oh yeah, that does not make it, unfortunately.
And I have no abilities I can use. So that's just going to be a 5 plus 4. 5 plus 5. 10.
5 plus 5 for 10
of
points of damage. Alright.
Nice.
Alright, good deal. Like your one arrow kind of whistling back past its head as it just kind of jerks its head to the side. The other, however, finding purchase in like the pectoral region on the other side as you kind of aim in that other direction. It's dealing a solid chunk of damage. Then, still bringing us to Bart's turn.
How tall is this cliff at this point, would you say?
Y'all eyeballed. Y'all probably kind of reach around the peak area, so you'd say probably somewhere in the 90 to 100 foot region.
Oh, hell yeah. Does this ghast, or whatever it actually is, have any clothing on?
It doesn't appear to. Like, maybe like the tattered remains of what might have been pants at one point. You don't know how long ago, but that's all. That's like, it's just tattered remains.
Alright. Shit.
What you doing, buddy?
I am going to... How far away from it is me? Or am I
You
from
were
it?
in the middle, so you're only probably about 15 feet away from it. So 15 feet to it, 15 feet away from like the edge of the cliff right now.
Alright. I will get between it and the cliff, and while I'm running over there, I'll yell to Julian, use damn tentacle things to throw it off the cliff. And I will attempt to give aid to the next grapple check against it by trying to throw the head of my mace up behind its neck and sort of attempt to start pulling it backwards so that its weight sort of gets thrown over my body. Whenever someone
Okay.
grabs it, we can start readily moving that bitch over to the cliff.
Sure. Its head kind of like jerks around following you as you kind of run up near it, and it just snarls as you see just not saliva exactly, but something just dripping from its mouth. It does not smell good. And you ran into its space.
Okay.
So make me a Constitution saving throw.
All right. Hell yeah. 19.
19. You're A-okay. You just kind of, you get what she was talking about. Like this seems to possess the same features of the other guests y'all saw. As it smells awful, and you kind of like you feel your bilge rise a little bit, but you're able to like choke it back, and you're like, I'm good. As you begin to get ready to like be the football, like be the little thing for it to get knocked over.
Yeah, this is the fulcrum for it. to
Yeah,
start with.
basically. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Is that gonna be it for your turn?
That's gonna be my turn for now.
All right. That'll bring us to Jakob.
I'm gonna grapple it.
You're gonna grapple it. All right.
Yeah.
So you're reaching out with your first, because you can do it for every attack you have, I believe.
Okay.
You can try to make a grapple. So you're reaching and trying to like, because it's bigger than you, but you're still a big guy. So you're like, yeah, fuck this bitch. Roll an athletics check for me.
It's gonna be
I bet you beat it.
23.
23. Yeah, that beats its natural 8. So you're able, you reach in and you kind of like get a hold of it at its waist and just are getting a good hold of it as it kind of thrashes from side to side, but you stand firm like with your low center of gravity. You now have it grappled.
Half speed. Yeah.
You can move with half your speed. You could
Okay.
make it to the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, and then I'd need another action to throw, or
You can use your other attack.
oh, okay, then yeah, I'm going to move to the cliff and attempt to throw it.
He said, "My name's Norman Yeatus."
All right, make one more athletics check for me, as it is going to try to not get yeeted off the cliff.
Guidance.
You cannot do that.
As
What was
most
that?
things do.
23.
Okay, that beats it 16. As you drag it over there, as it's kind of screeching and drooling, and it's just... And I did... This should make a difference. Make a con save for me. I'm not being very good about remembering this part of its ability.
That was almost 3 16s in a row. So,
Okay, yeah, you're fine.
well, I got cocked, and I need to see what a 12 is with my con.
That's
okay,
fine.
19.
You beat the save. You're good. So you get over there and you like, as you're grabbing onto it, you just grit your teeth against the smell as you haul it over the edge and just lift it up almost over your head and just toss it off the side, and it just screeching and scrabbling as it falls down the cliff. I don't have enough d6s.
Hell yeah. It's always good when the DM's not rolling damage against you.
You can roll the d6s in
Just roll
Tailfire.
d12s, that's fine.
No, it does not make it. It does. I'll roll the rest just in case. Yes. 4 more. No, it does not make it. As you see it just kind of as it's screeching as it goes down the side, it tries to claw at the cliff, and it maybe you see it rip off some rubble, but then it goes slamming. The last you see of it as it smashes into the rocks below. That was very swift.
Where'd it go?
You saw it go. Oh wait. Oh yeah. You were stealth behind a rock.
Behind a rock.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. You pop back up, and it's gone.
Shit. It's invisible. Watch out! I'm
It's
still
at the bottom
shooting.
of
It's
the
over there. They
Move
tossed
out of
it.
the way.
Yeah. Y'all are talking at normal speaking voices, and he's yelling. You vaguely hear him as he's still like 60 feet away from you guys behind a rock. And Ella raises a hand and just kind of waves you in, Kloob.
It's
I'm
Princess
like-
Ella.
I'm pointing off the cliff, like gesturing.
Just-
We can fly.
Wait, who has the other earring piece?
I have it.
You
I
have
forgot
one. Who
that.
has the other one?
I do.
Yeah, y'all can talk to each other telepathically.
It's dead. They tossed it off the cliff.
Oh, I didn't even say that.
I'm just imagining in another life, like, with that horrible voice, Julian's just like a police dispatcher. We got a 419 over here in 4th and...
Good gracious.
Some scared like person getting their like home invaded.
My
They're just
goodness.
like,
Damn, that sucks. Well, good luck with that.
Alright, we're gonna swap our music back a little bit as some of the intensity dies back down. Good God. Alright. That was a...
I think it spit on my head some. It's
Yeah.
sort of
Wow. Yeah, Ella
prestidigitation it out.
going over the side looking. That was very well done. I couldn't quite get it over, but that's okay.
We should
Right.
write that down in your notebook about
Toss
special
them.
ways to kill undead.
Toss them from hundreds of feet in the air. I'll be sure. Keep that in mind.
Gotta get that teamwork.
That was very, very good and dealt with swiftly, though. Did make a bit of racket. Hopefully there aren't any more nearby.
Let's get out of here swiftly then.
Right. All right. As y'all start to scuttle off, she
You fucking shitting me.
turns off her blade. And if I get one more round of stealth checks.
Yeah. Guess what I got again?
Is it another 4?
It is another 4 plus 2. 6 again.
Hey,
So I got a
I'm
6,
not
not
an
gonna be the
11.
one that gets eaten this time. Thank God.
got that fat 19.
a 19 total.
Yes,
Okay.
finally.
I got a 14.
14. All right. We got most of the squad in double digits so far.
24.
24. There you go. Gloob holding up the foundation with like pure froggy muscle. Like. All right.
Stealth foundation.
Yeah, he's the stealth foundation. I'm like, you fucking losers! God damn it! Stop being so loud. Bart, you and Ella seem to be struggling a little bit. She's kind of like her side seems tender from where she got fanged by the creature, but y'all make it along. Your friends kind of making up for it.
I'm gonna insight check her because I know nothing about these creatures.
Sure.
I have read a book about vampires one time. It was probably wholly inaccurate.
Sure,
I'm
that's
like-
fine. You don't know any better.
Yeah,
You don't know that.
Is she gonna turn into one of these things? Just kind of eyeing her up and down, seeing what's going on.
Yeah. What's that insight check?
16 plus 8.
She seems to be in pain. Like, not
Okay.
that just is like
Cool.
uncomfortable from pain, not anything beyond that. So it's like, oh yeah, that makes sense. That's fair.
And
Like,
before Bart just runs up behind her and
I'm glad he didn't say that out loud and around Glue because the rapier probably would have been drawn.
That is.
you're 60 feet in the front,
why.
boy. You can't hear
Alright.
shit.
That's what I'm saying. I'm glad he didn't say it.
Okay. All right.
Alright.
So y'all continue to travel. Seems relatively peaceful as the sun continues to brighten a bit. Still early. Y'all probably like overall been traveling only for about like a little over an hour and some change, because it's like not a big island, or it's bigger island but not massive. We all been moving slowly. Made it a bit up, and you are starting to close in on the buildings. It's actually where I'm gonna drag us over here to our next Tailspire board, where I haven't placed you guys actually. So I feel my bad, fellas. And are y'all still kind of hugging the cliffs as you approach? Yes, no, maybe
as
so.
much as possible, I suppose, wherever there's the most cover.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, if it opens up and there really isn't any cover anywhere,
It does
or-
seem to do so.
Okay.
It's kind of coming along here. I gotta get all y'all placed because I didn't do this earlier, and so I'm kicking myself. I got you one little halfling. Woo! And then one little gobbo. You're not a gobbo, I'm sorry. A froggo.
Wait
And
a
then
minute.
you got a shrink. There we go. Alright, so we're gonna do a little, I believe I can yank you guys here. How I yank. Players. Some players this board. Get your asses in here. Alrighty. As this is
Alright.
kind of the sight y'all are greeted by. I also need to move our best back over to this map. Let's see here.
Are there map, or is that just me?
Do what?
Are there holes in the map, or is it just me?
Are there holes in the map?
There are some
Oh.
holes in the map.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, on
Oh.
the left side of the screen.
One moment. I will see if I can fix that.
Well,
We're about to go on break in a second anyway.
We are, so I will fix that then. But I will generally set the scene for you. You guys should all have possession of your shit.
Mhm.
I don't know where. I actually don't see any holes on my end, so I will figure out what's going on with that here in a minute. But as y'all are approaching on what you do see. You see this graveyard the most prominently. Like there's some of this fencing is not quite as perfect as it does appear. Like there are bits that have just over time have fallen apart, and that the gate up at the front is broken in and smashed. And off you see this stone building that's up kind of on that same side of that path as the church that the stones bearing scorch marks. It was a longer stone building. It collapsed, the wooden support structure having been burnt away. You can still see faint amounts of smoke arising from the wreckage across the street. From there, you see that other smaller abode that was burnt almost completely to ashes. It seems like just the stone foundation of the building seems to still stand, and beyond that, the source of the smoke that y'all could see farther in, the large wreckage of the largest building here, and only like you're not quite sure what it used to be, but it was a large building, and it is completely collapsed, almost flat. But there's stone everywhere, laying about, scorched, blackened, smoke rising still from some places. And that is where we're going to go ahead and take our break. I know we're about 5 minutes early, but that's okay. I will. Oh,
you.
there. I see the holes in the map. I see them. I will fix that. My bad, guys. But yeah, we'll be back. We can go grab some drinks, maybe use the restroom, just freshen up a bit, and fix the map, apparently. But yeah, don't go anywhere, guys. We're going to be right back here about hopefully 15, maybe 20 minutes. And we'll continue with our exploration of where our brave adventurers now find themselves. So we'll be back here in just a little bit. Bye! And hello! We're back again for this evening. Look, I even changed the lighting. We got the accurate, like, kind of as the dawn. The dawn has arrived.
That's not on our side.
Do what?
That's not on our side.
Did it not?
It's not updated.
How about now?
There we go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought I hit that button before, but apparently not. Whatever. I mean, it was updated for everybody else, so screw you guys. All right. So, we return once again to our adventures on this island with undead and other such creatures. So far, our brave adventurers have managed to sneak and fight their way and turn undead their way through the rest of the Skull Dunes, seemingly able to avoid any more notice from the skeletons that were the denizens of those dunes, making their way a bit on as they made it into more green areas, less sandy, spotting a ravenous beast that seemed to be moving along the path back down, but going unnoticed initially before a bad few rolls farther along resulted in it locating them on their way up, dealing a few swift blows to Jakob in the back before taking some heavy amounts of damage from the rest of the party before Jakob picked it up and tossed it off a cliff. And it fell to its demise down a 100-foot cliff into the sharp rocks and rough waters below. They continued the rest of their journey to approaching what appears to be the only civilization on this island for a little bit longer, and they've come across what you see before you, except for the parts where it's just empty void. Just don't pretend that's not there. They've come up next to what appears to be a old and partially ruined graveyard, as well as the remains of several buildings that appear to have been recently burnt down. So, gentlemen, you stand at the corner of this smaller graveyard. What would you like to do?
I would like to be the fuck quiet.
All right.
An action.
You are silent as the grave. You speak no words.
So do we continue in to see cultists or pirates? Or is this our best chance to get a rest before we progress?
Um,
Gonna,
I
I
don't know
guess, try
about
to take a quick perception around to see if there are any more hippity happenings.
Sure, make it a perception check.
what kind of undead is that? I haven't heard of that one.
26 this
Undead
time.
grung. All right, 26. You glance around and you just all you see and hear are just faint whisper of wind as it comes across this upper area of the island. You don't see movement and you don't see much of anything.
I don't see shit.
Well, might be
If we are to
a
get
good place
rest,
to.
now will probably be the only time. At least anytime soon, I imagine.
Yeah, sure.
Where would we
Alright,
do
yeah.
so?
If we're going to be tangling with one or the other, I'd rather be prepared.
Right.
All right. That building up there seems to be the most intact out of those, and there's this mausoleum, I guess. Any particular
Well,
preference?
Maybe. They already got all the dead bodies out of the mausoleum, and it's safe.
You do see I know it is not visible on this map. All of the graves have been disturbed at one point or another. The ones that look like open graves are the ones that look like the most recent, but it definitely looks like all of them. None of them are like perfectly flat. Some of them look like they were kind of shoddily filled in, and so they're really shallow looking. Some of them still have like little dirt mounds that have been wetted down, and like it looks like this grave has probably been pretty. This grave site has been pretty ransacked. So I'm not even really needing anything beyond passive perception, just glance around.
Yeah, I don't think there's probably too many bodies left in this place. We can take a look-see in the mausoleum there. It's got the most cover in the general area.
Seems like a horrible idea. I'll go first.
All right.
You said, and you did say, I want to make sure while I'm moving Gloob over here that you said there were like holes in this fence.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's
There's
not-
this fence is not whole in its entirety. There are like gaps in it, like some not all the way. Somewhere it's just like looks like some of the stone has worn down over the years, that kind of thing. Y'all are able to kind of, so y'all can easily enough find somewhere to kind of just hop on over into the graveyard proper.
I will
Let's
do so.
Stack the door. Like, all right, guys. In. All right, and it's not ajar. It's an older door, but it is shut.
Before we go in here, I'm going to go ahead and manifest back into the Warhammer.
Sure.
Do we hear anything on the other side of the door?
I don't know. Roll a perception check for me.
Yeah, let's do that.
Oh yes, with a 9.
That's good.
Yeah, one of y'all better be perceiving better than me.
I think it's
too.
pretty good. 21 for Gloob.
9, 21,
19.
19,
7.
7. The two of you that rolled below 10 can't seem to just. The wind just seems a little too loud. You can't really make anything out beyond the door. 19 and a 21, though. Y'all listen and dead silence from within.
He said dead silence.
Yep. There's
Exactly,
a guy. There's a
dead.
guy with a MP7 just in there ratting.
Wait a minute.
Just red.
Yep. Ready to rumble. Like, what's up?
Gloob will put his hand on the door, look at everybody, and try to open it.
Doesn't seem to catch on anything. Why can't I open my own door? There we go. Pew! There we go. I got
There's
it.
a dead
It's
guy
just being
in
weird. Yeah, y'all do see, and it's not whole. It looks like it's been broken. The top is kind of cracked and shoved off to either side of it, and
Right.
you see some like dust and bits of what may have been clothing or something at one point, but is currently empty.
Well, Julian's gonna leapfrog glue. Leapfrog.
I thought we were piling in there once it was open.
I was gonna take a quick look-see around the room to see if I saw anything
Sure.
appearing dangerous at all.
Absolutely. If you would like to make a perception check, or that'd be an investigation check if you're looking specifically for something dangerous. You're not just kind of like glancing around.
Well,
You're
I was getting
investigating
ready
the
to
room
say,
itself.
I too is going to make an investigation check specifically at the tomb in the center of the room.
It's a little different, so that'd be a separate investigation check.
8.
8. A lot of dust.
Guys, come on in.
Yay. 18.
18. What exactly are you looking for in the tomb? In like the
I'm
sarcophagus?
investigating the tomb in general.
Looks very dusty and empty at this time.
It is
Like if you're just looking,
unoccupied.
yeah, it's unoccupied. Like, and you see those little like the divots in the walls. Like it looks like with an 18, like there may have once been something that sat in there, as there's a little less dust.
No like trinkets, left behind items,
Doesn't seem
religious
to be.
paraphernalia, cloth, nothing like that.
Actually, you do see kind of up on the kind of like the back of the wall. It's scratched, like looks like it's been defaced a little bit. It looks like there was some kind of symbology up on that back wall, like facing the door. At one point, roll a religion check for me. This one isn't particularly hard for you, or it shouldn't be.
It's a flat 15. But
That'll
I
make
can
it.
tell you the list of gods that I would know specifically.
You should know this one. You look at it and you notice, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what it's supposed to be just off the top of my head. I think I have it here listed, but you recognize it as a vandalized symbol of Procan. The god of the
I
sea.
don't like that.
Yeah.
That's one of my figurines.
It looks like it's been just kind of fucked up. Like it's not super heavily damaged because it was worked in stone, but
Mhm.
it definitely looks like maybe claws or something were dragged across it to kind of like break it up.
Blasphemy.
Who's that?
Broken.
And I'm going to like gesture at Bart. He's like,
One of my figurines in there. This is a symbol.
Which I should
should wave with a trident.
I should be being a good DM and telling you what that symbol is.
I'm sure whoever did this will deal with them.
Yep.
It is a coral trident in front of a cresting wave, but with like just claw marks through it or whatever, just something kind of tore up the stone.
I am going to post up underneath that, take out some beef jerky or whatever, and start my rest.
All right, and that would be on this wall back here, where God's light shines. But yeah, so are y'all closing up in there to try to take a short rest? Oh, whoops!
Sure.
Somebody got
Yaku
shut
got
out.
outside.
Let me in.
Let me in. All right. So y'all are posting up to take a short rest.
As we're taking the short rest, I would like to look at the party members, excluding Ella, because this isn't meant for her, and ask them if anything happens to me, I need one of the three of you to make sure that this ring gets to my wife Brandolith. Same last name as me, McDoonshlebe. Uh, just in case, I want to make sure that that is known.
You're
Very
muted,
well.
Kent. You're still muted, Kent.
Can you write that down? That's a bit of a mouthful.
What, Brandolith?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay, well, here you go. And just put down the first name and last name.
Appreciate it.
I'm sure we won't have to worry about it anyways.
Just for, just, ease my mind. It's important.
Julian looks thoughtful.
Alright. Just,
So Ella,
yes.
back when we were in the Saltmarsh, I'm sorry, Miss Conlon, or
That's Dungeon
we-
Master. Sure, you're good. Yes.
we were talking about having special abilities, and
Mhm.
this, that, and the other. Seems kind of weird that you would take your whole cutting yourself and doing all kinds of special things like that as not quite pertinent information.
Doesn't really change about what I do. It just makes me better at doing it.
Is there anything else that you can do that might be helpful for us to know?
Not
To
that
kind
I
of be
can-
working as a team,
Aside from the alchemical things I can do and being able to do a little bit of radiant energy and bring that into my repertoire. Not much beyond that. As you just kind of holds out her arms, because I'm unfortunately so I can attempt to restrain for a short period of time. But things that big don't tend to do very well.
just kind of give her a nod, like, okay.
Yeah. She's kind of is kind of unbuckling some of like the extraneous bits of armor, not like her entire thing, but just kind of like if we're gonna get a little bit of rest in, it'd be a little bit vaguely more comfortable. Regardless, you understand. Magic, including blood magic, makes people very uneasy. So I try to avoid the topic.
Fair enough.
And just spring it on people instead of giving them a heads up.
For the record,
They tend to be more accepting when it's in the moment.
a lot of things about us make people uneasy.
I can imagine so. But that's very different and is frowned upon in many places.
You're in good company.
And he is going to take a nap.
Just kind of. Ella does the same. She's kind of making sure the arm that is like the cuts on her arm are well bound before just kind of crossing her arms and leaning her head back against the wall of the mausoleum.
I'll lean against the door.
The door opens outward.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, wait.
That means if it opened, you would go.
Oh, yeah. That's fine.
Okay. It also does
It'll
have a
wake me
lock.
up. Wake me up.
All right. You are precariously propped against the door. All right.
Is there an actual hole in the doorway?
No. No, it's just the door for some variety.
Okay,
So
I will
there's no
have
hole.
I will have a relaxing smoke then.
Sure. You have a bit of a smoke. Y'all are very, very well hidden in there. if I could just get, for those that are not napping, a round of perception checks.
Yes, sir. Dirty 20.
Okay.
9.
9.
Mm-hmm.
Asleep.
Yeah. All seems quiet on the gloob front. But with a dirty 20, kind of as probably like 45 minutes into y'all's short rest, sorry. You just hear some like faint like conversation, like a little, like not enough to make out the words, but you like voices like that seem like they're a bit away from the mausoleum itself and moving like past. You just hear them for like 30 seconds, like starting faint, getting just a little bit louder, getting faint again.
Moving away from the building or towards it?
Moving away. Like I said, getting faint again.
Okay.
Moving away. Like you could
Well,
probably
no, I mean,
extrapolate
like-
that they were moving along the path away from the building.
Right. Were they leaving that larger building that's up the path, or
You are inside. All you were getting was a little hearing.
okay.
Like it sounded like from closer to you to farther away, like they were heading down the path where y'all had come from.
Gotcha.
All right. Other than that, though, the rest of y'all's short rest passes without incident. So if everybody would like to, yes.
Bart, do you let anyone know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. I will let everyone know to quiet down. I hear some voices outside. Everyone, I'll show for a second.
3 people are asleep, or yeah, so they're just kind of snoozing.
It's just me.
It's just you and Gloob awake, apparently.
I'm gonna see if I can sleight of hand the earpiece off of Julian. Are these attunement? But let me ask that before.
I believe they are not.
I don't think they are.
I think they're just
either.
slide them on.
Okay.
Woo!
If that's the case, I would like to sleight of hand this thing off of Julian's ear without him.
Sure.
Without waking him
It
up.
does require attunement.
They do the spies murmur?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. They do require attunement. I couldn't quite
Okay.
recall.
Shit. Never mind.
Whoops.
I can use as many hit die as I want, right?
You can use as many as you would like.
I'm gonna tap Julian on the boot.
What's up?
You don't need to do anything. Shh. You don't need to do anything. I just need you to listen. And tap my earpiece. Go over to the door. And I'm gonna jostle Jakob awake, and I'm gonna try to sneak out of here and follow those voices from a distance.
Before he goes out the door, I'm going to do a little bit of prestidigitation on the on the hinges to make sure there isn't any creaking or squeaking. Just kind of clean up that a little bit, a little
Sure.
bit of grime off of it.
Yeah, easily enough. All right, so I guess I'm assuming you're wanting to stealth on your way out.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead and roll a stealth check for me.
There's a big frog foot kicks the door open. What's up?
Boom! What's up, fuckers?
29.
That's a very solid. All right.
I'd
Alright.
like to turn the hour.
Oh, whoa. Uh-oh. Lost Jones. There he is. Hey, buddy.
Oh, did I DC? Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I lost connection to the board for a second too. My bad. So
You're
what's
good.
the last thing that was heard?
I just heard I would like to, and then that was it.
I would like to get. I don't know how close I need to be in order for the earbud to activate for the hour long to where Julian can hear it as well.
It's as long as you're within a mile.
Right. But I don't know how close I need to be to them.
It's whatever.
The
I
other
believe
people.
it says whatever you can hear.
Is it?
Because it's like a mental connection.
Okay. All right.
So it's basically, it is dependent upon your perception.
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can allow that creature to hear everything you hear for 1 hour.
Yep.
You can
And-
end this effect as a bonus action.
Okay.
As Gloob is sneaking out the door, I'll hit him with a guidance.
Okay, that lasts for 1 minute, correct? Or not even. It lasts for a very short period of time. It lasts for like
yeah, it's
8
a very short
rounds.
period of time.
All right. So are you adding that guidance to your stealth check or no?
I was not trying to add it to a
Okay.
stealth check.
Gotcha. All right, so you have guidance as you make your way out the door with the 29 stealth check. This
1
would have
minute.
been at least a handful of seconds, probably almost a minute after they passed. So where are you going? Like if you're looking at this map, we'll go ahead and place you outside. I imagine we'll be having to do a little bit of theater of the mind, but for the initial exit.
Right. As soon as Bart said that he heard something,
Mhm.
voices, the Gloob would have started moving.
Okay.
Wake Julian, move Jakob out of the way. I would close the door back behind me, and I would make my way to where he heard the voices.
Gotcha. So he couldn't be sure where he heard them, but they were moving kind of north to south. If you're like looking at the top of the board as north and bottom of the board as south. Actually, it's exactly north to south because there's I forget there's a little compass there. So yeah, it sounded like they were heading north to south, going by.
Make my way, and if there are other things out here to the side, I can't see them. So
it's
if there's
gotten
anything
more
up there,
barren the closer you guys have gotten to where you are now. Like things had been cleared out, or closer to the buildings. But going with the 29, you're going a lot off of sound right now.
Gotcha.
So you creep your way down there, like kind of after you make your way kind of onto that path. Roll a perception check for me.
Guidance is a D4, right?
You were correct, sir.
Okay, not bad. 15 plus my perception, which is 4, so 19 total.
19. A bit down the road, you see what look like a couple of humanoid figures, like just kind of ambling down the path.
Okay.
With a 19, you see that these guys are definitely armed. Like you can make out like a glint of the steadily rising sun off of metal. You can make out like the outlines of probably what look like maybe crossbows.
Okay.
Some at their waist.
Do they look? Glue wouldn't know what a cultist would look like, but he would know what a pirate looks like.
They do not look like
pirates?
You haven't really seen pirates wearing metal armor.
Okay.
Oh shit.
All right.
Those are seafaring fellas tend not to want to sink.
Right. Okay. So these are most likely the people we're looking for, or at least someone talking to them. Can I get within earshot of them?
You could certainly try.
I would like to try.
All right. They are not going very fast. So easily enough you're able to kind of scurry up closer to them. What was your stealth?
29.
Okay. You scuttle on up, kind of getting within probably about, because they're not talking super loud, but they're not talking quiet either. So about maybe to just make out what they're saying, probably about 20 feet, 20-ish, maybe closer, something like that, like a little bit in that range.
Okay.
But they don't really seem to notice as you get closer. And you just as you get into earshot, you just hear them. Yeah, I'm ready to get off this damn island. Maybe they'll get through to the rest, back to the main group. They'll send somebody to get us off of here. It's not like there's much left. Yeah, I know. But I mean, we gotta do what we gotta do, right? Yeah. This is our place. It's for the best. We'll follow them. And they're just kind of chatting, and Damn, it looks like it's gonna be hot today. Yeah, don't remind me. We got the morning. At least we won't have to be here afternoon and like blah blah. It's kind of a little bit chattering back and forth.
Okay. It sounded like they were talking about getting off the island.
It did.
And did I see any sort of? I wouldn't recognize it, but did I see any sort of symbols on their metal armor or like these? I don't know. Is there? Is it like a certain color? Or is it just regular ass metal armor? I don't know. Is there any sort of symbology on them anywhere?
Not from the back that you saw.
Okay. And being this close to them, listening, are both of them humans?
One they appear to be from what you can tell.
Okay.
You're not like getting a super great look at them, but they're both medium in build, both male.
Gotcha.
One just had like a bit of a rougher voice, one a bit of a more higher tone.
And it just looks like they're continuing on this path.
Yeah,
which,
they're heading down the path. Just kind of walking
and the
down.
only thing that I know that this path goes to is the sand dunes, right?
You're correct, sir. You are at this point between getting out there and kind of getting within earshot from within probably a solid 100, 150 feet, 125, maybe between 125, 150 feet away from your friends, and getting farther along as you step. They're not going super fast, but they're probably traveling at like half speed, about 15 feet every few seconds.
Right.
Also realized the music turned off. Oh no.
I think what's running through my mind right now is I don't want them to get to the boat. I don't want them to see the boat.
So what you doing, Glib?
Look. Boys, I'm sorry.
I will go ahead and tell you, like, this is something it took y'all traveling fairly slowly, but not like super duper slowly.
Mm-hmm.
Upwards of like hour and a half to get from when y'all started traveling in the dunes up to where you are now.
Right, yeah. I think my train of thought right now is I don't want them to.
I just don't want you to be missing out on any information. You're about 200 feet now.
I'm gonna fall back a bit from them.
Okay.
Get about 60 feet and then keep pace again.
Okay. So are you backing up or are you just letting them pull ahead?
I'm letting them pull ahead.
Okay. So you're still about 200 feet as you wait for them to pull ahead of you.
And I'm gonna talk to Julian. I'm gonna say, well, you heard all that. They're heading towards the boat.
Would I know, like, to stand on the edge of the hill or whatever? Can you, like, see all the way down the dunes, or is it more like a wavy? Like, they can't really see the coast from here.
Not particularly. Like, it's not like a straight shot. Like, there is distance and kind of a little bit of give and take. It's not like a completely like straight incline. Plus, like I said, y'all are at least like a solid like hour and a half. Oh.
Oh no.
Oh god. Skype just did a little fucky wucky.
All right.
How's it? Is everybody here? We still good, everybody? Oh god.
I'm here.
All right, cool. But like I said, they probably can't see all the way down. Like you can probably like see like the dunes, like you can see them, air quotes, like there's sand and shit. But there's a reason they got to get closer if they want to see anything.
But in order to have line of sight, they'd have to probably travel like significantly into the dunes.
Absolutely, like full line of sight, yeah.
Are they traveling into the dunes or just toward them?
I can't tell where they're going right now. Right now, it just looks like they're traveling in that direction, and that's the only thing we saw in that direction.
they head into the dunes, we're gonna need to take them out.
I think we need to go ahead and make that decision now.
Are we done with the short rest yet?
This was 45 minutes into it, so no. It was when y'all heard the sound.
We're still recuperating. Rather not start a mix-up yet if we don't have to.
I don't think we have a choice. It's either they get back and they see the boat.
If they're going into the dunes.
Tell the rest of the group, ask them what they think.
I will communicate it to the room.
Alright, so you guys wake up Ella as well?
Yep. Hey, we may or may not have a situation.
So we got fellas going towards where the boat's at.
They haven't entered the dunes yet, but they're heading in that direction. We're not sure if they're going in or no.
I mean, hell, it'll take them hours to get there and back, I imagine. But whatever.
They'd be significantly faster on the return. But
we could catch them on the return.
We could catch
You
them
could
on their
also
return.
run into more of them geist things or whatever you call them.
The ghasts, yes. Those
Gas,
weird,
there you go.
much scarier versions as well. I don't know, we haven't seen any more, but that doesn't rule out the possibility of there being any more. But at the same time, if they don't return, we don't know when they're expected.
Actually, real quick, can I do a wisdom check to see if the gas that attacked us was the first gas that we saw? Like, if it wasn't patrolling, like, on the way back?
Sure. This is, like, you're trying to identify that it was the same gas that you saw going and coming, and that attacked you.
Giant brain. 22.
22? I mean, it very possibly could have been. But at the same time, it was farther away the first time, and you yeeted it off a cliff. You didn't really have any time to examine its body outside of a very, very brief flurry of combat. So, I mean, it could have been. Like, it's possible.
Alright. I mean, hell, if we get these guys, we might be able to talk to them and get more information about what we're going up against, and hell, we could probably tie them up or something if they see some sense and still get a rest afterward. So, hell, might as well try to grab them.
I'm just concerned it could turn into a larger conflict.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is going to go to hell, probably.
And I don't have my powers back yet.
I can't do his voice today.
It's a struggle. I can't get a good camera angle to look at all of you in that little mausoleum. I keep trying to twist it, but I can't do like an aerial view. So I'm like, y'all are in there. It's like somebody can see Ella's sword, but you can kind of see.
If you hold down the middle mouse button, you can get kind of like a top-down view. Pull it back.
Holy shit, I can. This is amazing. Yep, there you guys are. Look at you. I did not know that. Oh, dude, that's revolutionary.
The more you know.
Oh, indeed. All right. But yeah, this is true. We could find out more. This is difficult. We can gather information as well as possibly weaken our enemies, but we also may accidentally alert them if we don't know when they're supposed to return. We could push for time, try to get in there before they return.
Ask Gloob, are they armed, or do they look like they got magic, or?
How do they appear? Soldiers?
Yeah, crossbows, blades, metal armor.
Arms and armor.
I mean, that might just be muscle.
They're talking about getting off the island. That makes me think they're going to where we pulled up.
We didn't see any other boats there. And there's a perfectly serviceable. Wasn't there like a dock area that goes up to the keep?
No.
Y'all. The pirates
yeah,
there.
The pirates came through the Skull Dunes.
Oh, okay.
The Skull Dunes are the only like entry point.
Okay.
Where y'all came up, there were the ruins of what used to be docks. Looks like maybe the
Oh,
pirates
okay.
like destroyed them on their way out or their way in or something.
Gotcha. Okay. Cool.
Ella,
Yes.
can the undead send like telepathic messages to whoever made them? Have you ever encountered that?
I can't say that I've encountered it myself, but I wouldn't necessarily completely rule out the possibility. The way that most necromancers control their undead or the soldiers is in a mental capacity. So perhaps certain strains, it can't be terribly common if I haven't run into any of them.
My vote. Catch them on their way back, if we must.
There might not be a way back. If there's another boat coming in for them,
How many were there?
2.
2?
We could probably get 2 pretty easy.
We could get 2 very easy. If we had more information on how many of them there were before the pirates, it would be much more useful. I mean, that may be all that's left, but maybe not.
If there's a boat coming for them, do we want to walk into that?
That's also true. They may stay distracted there for quite a while, but they also may not.
Hopefully, it won't turn into too big of a deal. We can just get a short rest after. Or maybe try to grab them and get information.
Do we want to use more time?
Come again?
Say, do we want to use more time if we take this conflict that maybe another hour or more that we'll need to hope that none come to investigate their disappearance?
Let's wait and see if they enter the dunes. If so, we move out and take them down.
You
the
wish
dunes are hours and hours away.
your
we
friend
came-
to go out that
I
far.
thought he said it took an hour and a half to get all the way to him.
It took y'all about an hour and a half traveling up at a reasonably slow speed. They're not going particularly fast, so you imagine they might take about the same to get there.
To get to the edge of the dunes.
To
So
get to where y'all traveled from, like where we started going theater of the mind, was about an hour and a half.
Okay, so I thought you were saying from the docks to where we are now was an hour and a half.
No, it's about an hour and a half from the edge of the dunes to where you are now.
Okay.
And that was that traveling at a relatively slow pace as y'all were trying to be stealthy.
I might be able to.
I misunderstood.
Are you still following them at 60 feet?
I'm gonna fall back to 80 feet.
Have you been trying to keep up with them this entire time?
Yeah,
As
they
they all
said
been
they were
talking?
going so very fast. So
They
yeah,
weren't
I was
going
gonna-
super fast, but RL time, you're probably about a little over 300 feet from your companions now.
Okay. All right.
Here's the thing, though, is that Gloob's out there by himself. What if when he's following them, one of them things jumps on him? They could throw his ass just as easily off the cliff.
Being alone is not recommended. Our safety is
Right.
in staying closer together and in our numbers. Focusing
them
on our
if they're-
ability.
Ask them if they're using the road.
Are they using the road?
Yeah, they're on the path.
Well, shit, let's just tell them to come back. Wait a few minutes and we'll haul ass down the path.
Yep.
I communicate that.
Yeah,
So
Sorry,
sound
I'm having
good,
issues
everybody?
with Luke's voice. Or with Julian's voice.
the sooner,
I bet you are. You don't sound
Hey.
anything like Gloob.
Wait. Hey, y'all go a bit closer to the cliffs. I can make the initial shot and outrun them most likely, and bring them closer to the cliffs. They'll just be chasing after me.
I think the implication is that we should finish our break and then go after them.
Okay.
closing on 400.
If that's the group's decision, Gloob will fall back
Okay.
and let them go.
Okay. They continue just ambling along down the path. You return. Maintaining, your stealth takes you about a couple minutes to make it all the way back, but y'all do see Gloob kind of ease the door back open and slip back in.
All right.
Shall we pursue them after the fact?
Right. We should probably see what's going on with them.
Table.
I mean, I think that decision, we should have stopped them. I think they're going to be too far gone at this point. We're talking about sitting around just for a little bit. I know Julian's out of juice, but most of us are still good to go. We should have stopped it then. So I think we just need to continue on to what our main goal is. I think whatever the boat's fate is has just been decided.
I agree with Gloob. I think chasing down these guys in the unknown area where there could be more of those gas things, that thing hit me pretty hard.
Oh no, not to chase. Ambush.
Well, we're
gonna have
chasing
to
them.
chase.
Unless you're saying we're gonna wait for 3 hours for them to come back, which
if they go that far.
There are too many unknowns. What if they do go that far? We can't be sure. There's merit to either. If we kill them, wonderful. 2 less enemies.
Well, the way I see it, they got a boat coming. I mean, our boat's gone anyway, right? I mean, I don't think they're just going to be like, oh, another boat. Well, maybe we have some neighbors, you know.
That's why I said we should have done it right then and there. But
that's still. Oh, sorry.
That's done with. So I don't think we need to follow or chase them anymore. Boat's fate is decided, and if they're going to do what they're going to do, it's going to take them multiple hours to get back. Finish up your rest, patching up your wounds and whatnot, and let's go ahead and handle what we came here to handle.
Make sure they come back to no friends.
Right.
I think ultimately, if a boat's coming to get them, there's nothing we're going to do to stop a boat coming if it's already sailing.
Right.
That's something we're going to have to deal with later.
That was my sentiment on the situation. But if there's 2 people split up from their group, they could have valuable information about what we're getting into, which was my reckoning and trying to grab them. So if we can grab them and know what's going on.
I should have grabbed them while I was out there then.
Could you have grabbed them?
No. I could have subdued at least a couple of them. Maybe. I don't know. I could have led them back to you guys for a trap.
Perhaps.
But for you guys to sit here and rest up, they're going to be that far down the road, and then we would have to, run up the path to chase behind them? It just doesn't make sense. And then we get into another fight. Maybe more ghosts come.
You said there were only 2 men.
Right, only 2 men that I saw, plus any undead that's going to be out there.
The concern is...
Julian, can you do those bird things again? We can just find out where they're at.
I could. That'd be a portion of the power that we're regaining now.
I think.
If you think it's worth it, I can do it.
If we take strictly only physical damage, if we get beat up a little bit in the combat, I can patch us back up without us having to expend any of our more magical capabilities. But...
Assuming we don't run into any more undead.
Correct.
Right.
We can be sure.
I go with the party. My vote is we let them go do whatever there is going to do, and we dedicate our resources to whatever's deeper into this town. We can't always just sit around and for a couple of hours and patch our wounds up and take a nap.
They can't know that they can't possibly know that we're this close. They will have to at least spend some time after they get down that way determining where we are. Or at least determining where we aren't. So that should buy us a little extra time to engage in whatever we're going to engage in up here.
Here in a few minutes. Let's take a peek around and see what we've got in this area.
I will say it's probably worth at least that much time. A few minutes hopefully won't make the difference, but your friends having regained their capabilities may very well make the difference.
Okay.
Alright.
Well, It's probably been 15 minutes while we're having this
Yeah,
conversation.
I mean, y'all haven't been doing anything particularly stressful, so like a few minutes from now, y'all do wrap up and gain the full benefits of your short rest.
All right.
Yeah. Got that good Bart healing back.
Bart healing. Oh, talking about his channel divinity.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
That makes sense.
50% of the reason for the short rest.
It's a lot of healing.
You know.
Do you know
I'm a
how
bastard.
often I go down? I need him to have that.
Don't go down so much, forehead. All right. So y'all finish your short rest. Everybody's buckled back up, and how they're buckled back up, you're ready. You're rocking, ready to go. What's the plan?
Take on ahead to the main building then.
Can we like peek over the wall to try and? I mean, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of tree cover around. Can we?
No, it's not like I said, like you see, there's a couple like dead, like looking tiny sprigs of trees, but almost everything has been cleared out. Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Oh my
whoa.
god, I have to actually move out the door.
Duh.
Where am I?
You should be right by the door.
There we go.
You can always just click on yourself on the left-hand side of the screen. It'll take you right to
Oops.
you.
I'm in a tree.
Uh-oh. My.
What I'm trying to accomplish is to get up to the edge of the fence and peek over the edge.
I mean, you could
Or-
do that
or you
easily
said
enough.
there's,
You
like-
could find a gap in this wall somewhere to
I'm
peek.
trying to,
Yeah.
stay within the cemetery section and peer out of it.
I also have a question concerning right here.
Uh-huh.
Is this just like the house, or is that like a cellar?
It appears to be like just the broken up bits of foundation. It looks like I lost a bit of floor. There's supposed to be dirt under that,
Okay.
so that's my bad. But I mean, you're not over there, but yeah, from where y'all are now, you just see the ruins of what is the foundation is all that's left of that house. But
Mhm.
y'all
So
getting
we're
up to
doing-
that wall and kind of taking a look see over in the direction of the main building, the
Main
remains of it.
building, and then take a peek at this building. Just kind of do a general sweep and be like, see what our not elf eyes see.
Yeah, make a perception check. Anybody who would like to.
I'm gonna take a peep around.
I don't see anything, says
That
Emma.
would be an 18.
18.
That'll be a 12.
26.
A what, Bart?
12. Oh,
26.
26, 12, 18, and Gloob?
9.
9!
Dog.
Alright. You don't see much Gloob, neither do you, Jakob. It looks pretty deserted from what you can see. Ellis feels the same. 18 also looks pretty deserted. Just in more detail. You see the stones and stuff. Looking specifically at the buildings, you can see like the remains of some broken and burnt maybe furniture or the spars of what may have been parts of the support beams. Same goes for the 26.
I
All right.
will-
Well,
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, it looks pretty clear. I don't see anything, even from up here.
I'm going to radio Gloob.
Who's standing right next to you?
No, Gloob.
Gloob is standing right next to you. Or did Gloob, did you move yourself and I wasn't looking? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
I see. Are you stealthing Gloob? Out of curiosity.
Yes.
Roll another stealth check for me.
Always sneaky.
Sneaky beaky.
15, 11, it's 36.
Oh, Jesus.
No.
Oh.
that's-
Wait, that's
I'm
not
sorry.
mathematically possible.
26. 26.
It's like, wait a minute. Y'all don't have past that a trace.
26.
26. That's wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
Seeing,
Alright, easily enough.
26.
Seeing Gloob move up to that building, gonna radio him and be like,
Shall we move up to that building? I don't see anything from here.
Yeah, I'm just checking for things that might try to bite our ass as we're kind of going towards this. So if you hear me scream, start running.
Gotcha.
Alright, so you're just moving into the remains of that building, Gloob?
Yeah. Kind of sneaking around, looking,
Sure.
seeing if I see anything moving or like bodies or anything like that.
Nothing that you're noticing as of yet. Just kind of keeping with that 9 general perception. You just see, like I said, the up this close, of course, you see some of the remains of the wood that made up parts of this house, and you see the char. And there's like blackened stones, or clearly the building was burned.
I'd like to put my hand on it and see if it's still warm.
Go right ahead. I say go right ahead, like I need you to roll something. You stick your hand on it. It's
Roll your touch check.
no, not really. Like you see a few wisps.
Poison the building.
You see a few wisps of smoke coming up from like an area where it looks like maybe some coals happen to get, buried real deep and some stuff. And that area, like if you stuck your hand in it, it would be warm, but none of the stones themselves are still warm.
Okay.
How's it looking?
So far, it just looks like a burnt down home. Like I'm not seeing anything else. Like everything looks destroyed. It looks like everything got wrecked.
Yeah, basically. Like it looks like you see the remains of like some what was burnt cloth, maybe some few pieces, just ash in many places. Things that were probably furniture, smaller pieces of wood, a few metal. Like you find like a burnt like metal mug that's just scorched black. Some stuff like that.
All right, we'll move up to you then.
Yeah, come on.
Turning to the others, I'll say,
Gloob says it's all clear. Let's go one at a time, 30 seconds apart. Stay quick.
and
Very well.
will follow his own advice and crouching low, dash across
Stealth check.
into the building.
We go one at a time, so we're going in order. So first we got Julian.
I'll go after Julian.
All right, what was that check, Julian? Or were you trying to stealth? I guess that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, it was like a quick stealth. 17.
All right, you make it across.
Also 17.
Nice.
Yeah.
Bart goes scurrying across, not like the way you're like supporting your pans with like your arms to keep them from bouncing so much as you kind of like speed
It looks like
waddle
I'm doing, like,
across.
a really awkward.
You're
really
Naruto
awkward
running.
Yeah.
So we're looking around for necromancers and we're being like tactical about it. Does that mean that we're ghost recon?
Oh no! Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, bye, Julian.
God damn it. Rocks fall. Julian dies. You step in as a wall collapses, it just lands on you.
Just took
Luke
17
reconsiders
points of
his
psychic
alliances,
damage.
aims his crossbow, and fires at Julian.
All
You
right,
see,
so
actually, I got confused on that cliffside. It wasn't the gas that I threw over the cliff. It was Julian. It's hard to tell them apart.
As
Oh,
they're
God.
making their way across, from my height advantage here, can I see much in this area, in the larger structure?
roll a perception check for me. Ella just looks over at you and says, I shall go next then, and just kind of slides over and goes hauling ass across, kind of tripping a bit on this bit of stone before catching herself. Like, oh, shit. Woo! She didn't roll very
I'm
good.
sure my stealth check's gonna go all like.
She's kind of like slamming an arm into shit.
Um,
Ow.
I'm gonna move up and hugging this wall, kind of keep an eye out towards the main building as well.
All right. What is your roll there, Jakob, for a stealth check as you make your way across?
Ooh, and go ahead.
I rolled a 5 and a 6, so 7.
Nice.
Very
Clank, clank,
stealthy.
clank, clank, clank.
Hell
Ka-chink,
yeah.
ka-chink, 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 ka-chink.
Huh.
He's over there like singing, singing as he goes, like a marching song.
I was going to make a perception check to peer at the main building.
Okay.
and
You go ahead and
Nat
roll
20.
yours. You're not 20. Okay, well,
Yeah.
Gloob asked first. What was your roll, buddy?
I not in that 20, but very close. I rolled a 19
Nice.
plus 4 for a total of
Holy
23.
shit, very nice. You look in there. I'll say with a 23 from the height you're at, So kind of climbing all the way up there, you can see kind of like if you scroll over, you see the remnants of very similar to this building, but a bit more organized. Like you see this stone pile and that wood pile in the back. It looks like maybe someone's kind of cleared away some of the rubble, and moved it into those piles. You see the remains of furniture, like a table and some chairs. Mostly a burnt shell, like maybe some places where there was glass in the windows, but it cracked and broke in places from the heat or maybe from somebody breaking it. But most notably, you do see an opening in the middle. But from the angle you're at, you can't really see what's down it, but you do see an open hole, and that appears to be where a lot of the rubble was removed from. That there was rubble moved from around that hole. It's been kind of made sure to be unobstructed. And with a natural 20, Julian, looking from where you are, natural 20 real good, but you got a wall in the way. I will say with a natural 20, though, what you do notice is you see this pile of wood right here. You see where I'm shining my flashlight?
Yeah, I'm zooming in on it.
I know it looks like the remains of a signpost. Do not be fooled. That's not what it is. But you see the remains of like maybe something that stood up against the wall itself, and you can see some paint sticking up off it, kind of face down. Some red, like bright red, paint of some kind. Like maybe it's you can't quite make out what it is from even with a natural 20 from this distance, and the fact that it's mostly all face down, as well as natural 20. On either side of the doorway, the blackened, charred, and also previously kind of on this right-hand side, at least the left-hand side doesn't have a wall, what would have also been a symbol of Procan.
Are these equally defaced?
Absolutely.
But there's no creatures living or undead that I see, right?
Not that any of you can see.
Well, I'm going to hold position and keep this angle until everyone's across.
At this point, everybody has made it across. You hear behind you as you're peering at this thing, and really confirming that is a symbol of Procan, and that there's something on that wood there in front. Ka-chunk, 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 as Yakov makes his way across the gap. Here, Alex. Ah, shit! She like bangs into something.
Guys, I don't know if y'all need to hear this, but we are trying to be quiet.
Have you tried lugging around full plate?
No. That's why I don't do it. Jeez. Come on.
Very well. So, shall we advance on the main structure?
Let's do it.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna walk that way. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm heading this way.
Club doesn't know what advance means? I mean, I guess that's
Not
fair.
in that context.
I guess that's fair. He's like, why are you trying to bring math into this? I don't need any advanced learning. Like, stop it.
We'll try to continue to stealth my way, and
All
this place is pretty barren, so I'll just stealth my way the best I can up to this area over here, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out, and then once it looks like he's about to get to a position of cover, I'll move out.
All right.
I will hold up the flank. Once everybody goes, I will go.
Do I need to roll stealth check again? Or
Yeah, we'll get one more series of stealth checks as y'all paused and made some checks and stuff. Maybe everybody will do a little better.
Oh, shit! Yeah!
That is not much better.
Wow, that's
Ella.
terrible. It's worse.
It's worse! Oh no!
I rolled a 2 and a 4.
Oh no!
I got a 19.
19. What was that for you, Gloob?
21.
That's still pretty fucking
21.
good. 19 and a 21. Awesome. Bart?
While I'm
12. Nice. Yes, Julian, I'm sorry.
while I'm there, I'm gonna kind of peek under the post to see if I can see what that red paint was, like if it was words or a symbol or what.
Sure. You can do that. I'm assuming everybody's just trying to kind of getting across.
Yeah.
What was your total, Christopher?
4.
4. Ella is not quite so loud, but she's also not like, it's kind of like awkwardly like trying to like be crouched down. It looks like she's not sure what to do with all this like open ground as she kind of makes her way across. You clunk somehow marginally louder, Jakob.
Look over and I'm like,
You did that on purpose. I know you did.
Maybe.
All right.
Do I recognize these statues at all?
They just appear to be oh man, what's a good sea predator for Procran? They look kind of like, you know what? We're gonna go with lionfish.
Okay.
That's what they look
Against
like.
the wall.
And Julian, you wanted to take a look at the wooden post.
yes.
Roll an investigation check for me.
Hey, I'm actually good at that.
See if you can find hole.
That'll be a 17.
All right. So you're able to kind of sort through it, and you can pick up. It's actually in a couple of pieces, and there are bits that are scorched. But you do see a symbol painted in the middle, like not crude necessarily. This looks like it was supposed to be symbolic. You see what appears to be a mace with a skull on as the head with spikes sticking out with a ring, a black, you would assume it's supposed to be a black metal kind of half ring going around and meeting at the base underneath the head of the mace.
Does this look like holy symbolish? Like this is an
Define
emblem
holy.
for something? You know,
I mean,
like the
you
emblem
can-
for a god, or
You can roll a religion check if you'd like.
oh shit, okay. With no bonuses, that'll be a 14.
14. I mean, it looks like it could be.
Ella,
Probably not anybody particularly nice.
Ella,
Yes. What? Walks over. Yes.
Like tilted up and
you know this? I don't.
She peers at it for a second. And with a natural 2. I can't say I'm familiar with this symbol.
It's a tad ominous.
You got another one right there. What are you talking about?
Do I?
I was just making a
Oh.
joke saying, you got another one right there. What are you talking about?
God damn it. I can't say. It definitely does not look friendly. But I don't recognize its owner.
Maybe Bart can take a peek at it.
I will allow one more religion check if you are so inclined.
Oh, now you bring it to the person who has proficiency in it. I see how it is.
well, I figured she would, like she has all the religious symbols and
Hell
stuff.
yeah. It's a 19 plus 4.
19? Oh, for fucking 23. You look at that and almost immediately, like, oh shit. That's the symbol of the worshippers of the demon lord of the undead, Orcus.
Oh
Present.
shit. This is some orcish. Not orcish, Orcus. Orcus is
Doesn't ring a bell.
like a demon lord of the undead.
You just watch Ella's face go from kind of like interested to just like, oh shit.
So doesn't it mean we're not taking prisoners? Or
I would not recommend it, no. His
gotcha.
his followers are foul.
Well,
He's a demon lord. His followers
Can I
will
roll?
make sacrifices. They will kill. They will murder, pillage.
Can I roll to can I roll to see what I know about Orcus?
Sure.
Still great, but not as good. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Oh man, I'm trying to think of exactly what details to give you. I'd known previously a short while ago. But you do know he is a demon lord of just like undead and rot, like the kind of the putrescence of undeath,
Gotcha.
as it were. Like
Okay.
they revel in in undeath itself. They're upset, like his followers especially, obsess and revel in the debauchery of murder and reanimating the fallen.
Oh, okay. So like Ella's favorite people get you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
If they're trying to get off this island, they don't need to.
Well, should we double back and try to stop them? I mean, I don't know. If the dunes are the only way to get here, then
They are.
them
seem to
having
be
a boat
anyway.
shows up is not going to help us get off any. So
That ship has sailed. We need to
right,
keep going,
exactly.
man.
I agree. I think we just need to move into this building and clear it out. And
I
Said-
saw an opening in the ground from up top over there. I'm gonna go look in it, see what I see.
Careful. You said that they looked like soldiers, correct?
Yeah, they were fighting, man.
If there any of the priests survived, that wasn't one of them. Probably. Be careful.
I'll give Boob guidance before he looks down in the hole.
Before he looks in the hole! Alright.
When Gloob goes to move up on the hole, I'm going to move up to that little chunk of rubble, bow ready.
Alright. You move up to it, and you look, so I know there's void below those stairs, but you do come up, and you see some stone stairs that go down, and it's walled on either side, it's down at the bottom, and there's a door at the end.
Closed, I assume.
Closed.
I'll look back to the group and just hold the hand up for a second. And
What
it
you
probably
see?
it's a closed door. I'm gonna check it out real quick.
There's a closed door down there. He's gonna give a look.
Are you descending the door? Or descending the stairs? Descending the door! Oh no, descending the stairs.
I'm descending the stairs to the door very cautiously and very sneakily.
These are fairly deep stairs. These look like they're like probably about 20, not 20 feet down, but like 15 feet. Farther than a story, like it's deep, like it has to go all the way past the foundation of the building.
Gotcha. So
A
definitely
little
going
beyond
under.
that. Yeah, you're definitely underground. And you make your way up to the door.
What am I looking at here? Solid wood
You
door.
see a solid wood door. It looks a bit blackened. Like maybe the flames licked at it a bit, but it does not appear to be burnt.
Doesn't look
like-
weakened.
Correct. It's
Okay.
like a solid wooden door.
I'm gonna put my ear up to the door. Have a listen.
Roll a perception check.
Do I have to call guidance beforehand? I don't remember.
I mean, I would say yes.
Okay, then I will use the guidance on the perception check.
Okay.
Yep. Not good. 10 total, I think.
10.
Yeah.
You get the feeling this is a pretty thick wooden door because you don't. Either that or there's nothing going on the other side.
Seems fine. Just pop it right open.
I'm gonna look around it real quick.
Sure.
Gloom knows at the beginnings of dens and stuff. That's if you're gonna have traps, that's where they're at.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna look around the door for any traps that might be there.
Okay. Roll an investigation check.
0. Another 10.
Not anything that you can notice.
I will try to very gently and quietly turn the knob.
Okay. Seems to be unlocked. Are you opening the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna open it as quietly as I can.
Doesn't seem to be particularly loud, but you inch it open. You don't hear much of anything.
Do I
You
see
see,
anything
as
immediately?
you
on
as you
the
kind of
side?
crack it open, you're looking and you see like the faint flicker of some dim light, but immediately in front of the door, like you're kind of peeking, and as
Mm.
you do, you hear some faint conversation, like just some kind of mumbling a little farther into the room to the right, and some
How much?
faint flickering light from the right and the left. How much what?
How much further, or can I tell that?
I'll let you roll one more new perception check since this is not the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I just want to get a gauge on distance, mostly
Yeah.
so I could whisper back to Julian. Oh no, it's
The
still
the
bad.
communication is purely mental.
Oh, okay. All
Is
right.
psychic.
Then that's why I was rolling.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah.
10 total. If that
10
gives me any.
you not 10. I mean, it's not very hard. Like you can hear there's more than one voice.
Mhm.
You can't tell an exact number, and they're not like far, but they don't seem close either. They're not like right now. You can't gauge an exact distance, but
Right.
they're right around there. And you're still just kind of like cracked peeking through, and there's a stone wall immediately across from you, like with some scattered bits of rubble and rock.
Okay. I already got voices down here. So this is going to happen very quickly.
Ready for us to come up?
Tell the others to stay back 20 or 30 feet. They don't need to get too close to this. Nah. Maybe you go ahead and sneak up with me. The rest of them, by the time they get up to this door, we're already going to be found out.
Gotcha.
I am
Stay
going
about
to
20 feet behind me. I'm moving up to help Gloob. There's some voices down there.
And I'm going to swiftly get to the edge and start sneaking down toward him.
Wait. What do you plan on doing when you get down there? You just gonna start killing?
I don't know. He said for me to come down.
Also, this might just be paranoia, but we might want to check behind that wall, make sure somebody isn't just sitting behind there, the wall that's right in front of us. Make sure there isn't somebody right behind it, kind of waiting for us to go down and then coming up behind us.
I'll just kind of give Yakko like a little tap on the hip, like, that's all you, Chief. Go right ahead.
All right.
So I guess
Okay.
while he does that, I'm going to move down to get closer to Gloob, indicating for Ella and Bart to follow at a close distance.
What was your stealth check, Gloob? I'm sorry. If you recall off the top of your head, it was like a 20 something, right? It was high, if I recall.
yes. I think it was 26.
26. That's right. That's right. I apparently did not jot that one down.
I don't know if this is going to give any type of bonus to them, but I would like right after I say that to Julian to bring the door back closed. I don't want to let go of the handle. I want to keep the handle twisted. I just want to bring the door to.
All right. So
The
you
muffled
ease it
sort of
back.
they make.
You don't like as you're closing, as you lose that last bit before the heavier door kind of is shut. Doesn't sound like anybody became aware of your presence. All right.
All
And so Julian moves up to the stairs themselves, and you'll see I'm marked about where 20 feet away from the stairs would be. So if y'all were wanting to be about 20 feet from the stairs, that is around abouts where y'all would need to be.
Going to the wall.
Okay. Ella, as she comes up next to you, Bart is has her shield unhooked and on her arm, as well as her thin sword. And you're going to the wall, or where are you going? Oh,
I'm
you're
going to
all the
where
way
I
over
put my
here.
dude.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
You make your way over the corner. Roll a stealth check for me, just real quick.
No.
You're trying to kind of.
You just gotta hit the floor hard enough that she'll collapse in on top
Actually,
of
I'm
you.
sorry. If I could get stealth checks from everybody.
Another
Do what?
another round.
Not from you. You've already stealthed, but as people who've approached from back where they were to now approaching. Julian?
This is my third nat 20 of the evening.
Dear
My
God,
luck is
okay.
changing. Let's go.
Good job. All right, you are stealthed. 5,
Sneaky, sneaky, sneaky,
and
sneaky.
for Jakob?
10, but I am going to try to give like the hole in the floor a wide berth.
Okay, 10 total. I mean, you're doing okay. The other 2 people that rolled like garbage are also keeping their distance with an 8 and a 5 for Ella and Bart. Y'all are kind of... Y'all like stop, like you think you might stop a little shy of 20 feet because you're like, we're being really loud. We're gonna stay back here.
Yo, I was joking around with myself, and I was like, man, it would be funny if Ian would just let me roll his next stealth check since I'm rolling so good, and I rolled a nat 1.
It's hubris.
All right. Jakob, you get back there. More rubble. Doesn't seem to be anything back there. Not really. Not anything worth commenting on, anyway.
Well, once I can, I'm gonna get to 20 feet away from the door.
All right. So you make your way to somewhere around there from that top of the hole. Y'all are there. All right.
I'm gonna.
What are y'all doing?
As
Gets
soon
the
as
thumbs
Julian
up.
gives me the thumbs up that everybody's around me, or is around up top, I'm just gonna use Inspire Murmur. All right, I'm gonna go down and try to listen first. You go ahead and ready a shot, and if I come up running, be ready to shoot whatever's chasing me.
Arrow, half drawn, knocked, pointed, downish. But to the side, so I don't accidentally shoot Glue.
I'm gonna try to sneak down into this door and try to listen to the voices that you were describing.
Okay. So are you trying to listen through the door, or are you cracking the door open again?
No, I was gonna go because I didn't know how far they were in, so I'm gonna try to go in and listen out.
You're trying to go
voices.
in the door.
Right, and listen out
Okay.
for these voices.
Okay.
It's just an open room. Like you just walk into a dining room like, shit.
Maybe. For what it is worth, I do still have the goggles that these guys got me of
Night vision.
Yeah.
Well, NVGs, baby. All right. So you go in.
Worth anything.
And you start to crack open the door. We're about to bounce between maps here a little bit, okay? Because this was part. I had an issue getting these maps to cooperate, so they were on 2 separate boards. For that, I apologize.
You mean this just isn't a one-room cellar?
Doesn't seem that way.
I'm sure there's only one guy down there. The bad guy.
Oh, whoops, wrong one.
The bad guy.
Wrong way.
First name, the last name, bad guy.
He's got
Mr.
a really
Bad
bad,
Guy.
really bad habit of talking to him. So.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna yoink you guys over here, especially after I fix the fucking time of day. Especially because it's in a cellar. So you're gonna have to use your imaginations a little bit here. As we yoink.
Uh-oh.
So.
It was very bright down here.
Glue, my friend.
I don't know why, but my brain just goes, "Those walls are made out of cheese."
Yeah, this is
that tracks.
You might want to update the lighting again. There,
Yep,
Dungeon Master.
give me.
It's bright AF.
Sorry. Yeah, I realized I just updated it for myself and then not for you guys because I always forget to hit apply to game board. So
the cheese walls are gone.
all right, so Gloob, as you're coming down there, you step out, and what you're going to immediately see are 3 figures sitting around this table. You see, on the end, big hulking form in kind of stretched, almost seems a bit stretched taut chainmail armor that seems to kind of go all the way down, very similar to what Jakob used to wear. Now with a shield and a flail propped against the box that he is using as a chair. His bald head, like bald, pale head with seems to have some tattoos going down the back of his skull from what you can see, and down disappearing beneath his chainmail. This hulking, massive form, pushing the ends of medium size. A cup. The people he's sitting at this table with appear to be smaller. One across, you see your hooded figure. It just appears to be adorned in dirty but ceremonial robes.
I think because my character is not at the bottom of these stairs,
Oh.
I'm not seeing any of the things that you're describing.
How about now?
Yeah, I can only see it because it's on the.
You might want to
stream,
mess
I
with.
can't
Remember
see it.
how it did it last time? Mess with your green slider. Is
What-
what has fixed it for me when we were having issue when I was having the similar issue. Maybe it's because of the lack of light. Can you see them now? No, maybe.
Not yet.
Oh. Oh, it's because I haven't given you ownership of this token. I'm so sorry. How about now?
Loop.
Oh, I can.
There we go. I was like, why can't he see? Oh yeah,
Oh, God.
he can't see. It's not.
Suddenly-
That's not him. As-
Suddenly cultist.
Yeah, and you see person on the other side, adorned in dirty, but still clearly ceremonial robes, and then the one across closest to you appears to be in like more rough spun, like woolen attire. You're not quite sure whether those two are armed. They're in more, like I said, just kind of cloth. Like you think you might see a dagger at the side of the one closest to you. And the one directly across from you somehow still doesn't quite notice you in the dark. You're standing there, and you're I'm assuming you're not like stepping all the way in the room after you kind of start to turn, and you see dudes right there.
As soon as I see people, the door stops, and I'm
Yeah.
just sitting there.
Yeah, so after you kind of like start to open enough to kind of start bringing your body through, you see these guys sitting at the table. They appear to be playing cards. Like they're just killing time. You see some like mugs and like there's like scattered like rotted foodstuffs kind of around the table. And they're just sitting there, and the big guy's like, "All right, now I know you can't pay up right now, but it's still worth something." And like throws down his cards, and the smaller guy's just like, "Ah, shit. How much longer are we gonna be stuck here?" "I don't know. Shut your hole. Stop complaining." Some more grumbling and just generally, God, well, deal a new hand. As they're just going along, they appear to just be whiling away time. You just, as you're going, you do hear the big guy referred to as Augmund at least once.
Augmund.
Augmund, and like for the other two smaller guys, the dude in the more ceremonial robes appears to be referred to as Bretlin, and the more plain clothes as Garn. They're just kind of grumbling in general. Seem to be killing time for the moment.
Apologies while I write those names down.
No, you're fine.
They don't. They're not saying anything like menacing, like oh, can't wait to kill those people later. Like, ready for that sacrifice later on tonight.
Not right this moment. It doesn't seem like.
Shit.
Period. Like they grumble a little bit, you know, just these fish that we can get and things that Ozymandias can create with magic just isn't enough, if you ask me. Quit your whining. When the high priests come and bring us, they will liberate us from this hellhole. We will be much better off. We'll find a new temple and proceed with our works. When we get off, yeah. When we get off. For now, there ain't much worth doing. Just general talk going back into cards. That seems to be the main focus for these guys is when they leave, how they'll leave, and killing
I
time.
don't hear anything about a timeline about when they're talking about leaving.
Nope.
Shit. Close the door.
Alright. You close the door.
To Julian, they're leaving the island soon. Or their plan is to leave the island.
Muted.
Do we know how soon?
No. But they're just wasting time right now, and they're pretty disgusted with where they're at right now. Seems like they don't want to be here any more than we want them here. Thing is I don't know how. I don't know how we want to play this, but we need a plan before we bust in these doors.
How many?
3 that I see right now.
Fighting men?
At least 1.
Turning to the others, we'll say in a low voice.
3 down. At least 1 fighting man. Talking about leaving and being dissatisfied. No time frame. What do we want to do? Negotiate. Kill him.
Yeah, if there's just 3 of them, we can just go talk to them. It'll be fine.
What? Sorry about that. What?
That's 3 that we don't. That's only 3 that we see. There might be others sleeping in other rooms.
I didn't get that information.
Yeah. How much of how far in was Gloop able to get?
I don't know. Clue.
Yeah.
Are there other rooms or just the one?
I'm assuming I saw the other doors, GM.
Yeah, you just seen like looking to the right, you definitely saw the 2 on the opposite wall.
Okay.
You haven't quite seen the extent of the room, but you do know that there are other doors. So you could extrapolate that there's probably multiple rooms.
Yeah, there's other rooms up there.
Hey,
Down
DM,
here.
could you update the lighting again?
Oh, did I? I once again hit my thing and then it didn't hit apply to game board.
There we go.
Yeah, I'd already brightened it up. I was like, there we go. That should do a little bit of higher exposure because a couple of people have night vision, but whatever. It's my bad.
He's in the first room. There are doors.
So there could be more. I mean,
Probably more.
we don't know how big or how spread out to see. Can you get any idea of how far maybe some of them will be, if there are others?
Gloob, do you think we should come down?
If y'all come down, we need to be ready to talk or fight. And we should knock on the door. If our plan is to fight, and I think you should take a real long look at Miss Conley right behind you and see if she's willing to have a talk. Because if she's not, then I would rather get in one solid hit before we just go toe to toe. This motherfucker's big.
I'll switch back out.
He's like at least like 4 gloobs tall, or not maybe that many, like 3. That dude's probably pushing 8 feet, like maybe a little over.
Gonna look over at Ella and be like,
Are we gonna talk? Are you amenable to that?
I can't say that I see much point in talking to these things. They aren't people, not anymore.
Gloob, she's not fond of the idea.
Understatement of the century right there.
Well, Miss Conley, I mean, we might be able to get some kind of upper hand on them.
As long as the
Yes,
intent is not to let them leave. If you intend to let them escape this island free, I will not, or I will do my best not to allow it.
Yeah, so Gloob, if we're gonna negotiate, we're gonna be lying.
Also, Julian, I mean, you seemed rather upset about that symbol that was desecrated in the crypt. I mean, how do you feel about that now? Are you
Very.
going?
Don't know if it was them or the pirates yet.
Okay.
Lucas. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I mean, if we find out that it was them, I'm assuming that's taking the negotiation off the table.
Perhaps. By the same token, Broken is kind of a vengeful god. He'll probably sink their fucking boat anyway.
It's not inaccurate.
Gloob is gonna get kind of cold for a second and turn around to.
Ignore that dice. Sorry.
I could probably see the beginning of the party, if at all, and I'm gonna send a communication to Julian's.
Is it message? Oh shit.
Yeah.
Sick.
I mean, yeah, I could.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Tell Bart to come to the stairs, just to the edge of the stairs. Don't come
Hey,
down.
Bart.
Just kind of wave.
I will 7 stealth check over.
When he gets there,
Click,
unless
click,
I hear
click,
rustling from inside, I'm gonna look at Julian once more and
Is the door? You closed the door, right?
yes, yeah, close the door again.
Roll a perception check for me.
17.
You definitely hear the voices stop.
So keeping his hand on the doorknob, knowing what's about to happen on the other side of that, I'm gonna still do it exactly what I was gonna do.
Okay.
Just say, Bart, are these bad people?
They follow bad people.
Lube is gonna kick the fucking door in and take a shot at the cloaked figure in the back here.
Okay, you wanted to,
It's
so you just
initiative.
busting open the door and taking just like a snapshot.
Right.
Okay. And you said you wanted to do it at the one that appeared to be in robes.
Right.
Okay, roll and attack roll.
Gloob would like to pre-fire.
I will unfortunately say, this is not with advantage.
Okay.
They've been unfortunately alerted to y'all's presence.
Shouldn't matter. It's a 24 to hit.
24 will hit.
No sneak attack though, unfortunately. But he will take 11 points of piercing damage straight to the
Nice.
noggin.
Crossbow bolt goes sailing across the room and takes him in the throat, immediately collapsing to the floor. And that is where I guess I'll ask everybody to roll initiative.
All right.
Come on
How
now, 4.
deep are we gonna get into this combat?
We're not.
Okay.
We're basically going to roll initiative just so we have it out of the way. And some opening flair. So,
You should go for another hour.
can't do that. Oh, that was really good for her. All right. Can I get a 25 to 20?
24.
24? Anybody else? All right.
No,
so,
you cannot get a 25 to 20.
all right, so we got Gloob with 24, Ella with 22.
Nice.
All right. 20 to 15.
19.
Yeah, she's been ready to scrap this whole time. She's like, fucking go. 19 for Bart. Anybody else?
16.
All right, Julian. And what's that for you there, Jakob?
11.
All right, Jakob. So, 24, 22, 19, 16, 11. I mean, that's all above 10, multiple people at double digits. So as you fire this crossbow, you do see that the big figure, like that when you had first gone in, the cloak, the figure in the robes had been kind of starting to go around the table as your crossbow bolt took him in the throat and he fell to the floor. The one in more regular clothing had come to his feet and had a dagger in hand, starting to approach towards the door, and that big hulking figure was in the process of hoisting that big, like, jagged, pointed metal flail as he sets eyes on you. Just instant, overwhelming violence just contorts this figure's face. And he just lets out almost bestial, and that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Oh, so he's
That's
a
all right.
bard. Gotcha.
He's
a
what?
bard.
I know we're ending a little early, but there wasn't really where we could go without being like, all right, guys, hope you're ready to be here for a while.
I am.
Should-
Let's go.
Should have just hung out for a few more minutes, let them get a little bit more drunk, can go in there and cast sleep on everybody. They just get a little extra sleepy and pass out, and then we could have been like, okay, we're fine, and then we all turn our back and get focused on something else while Ella slits everyone's throats, and it'll be fine.
All right. Well, thank you guys for being here tonight to play. Always a pleasure. Thank everybody who came through tonight to hang out, especially, I know it's very far at the very beginning of the stream, but thank everybody so much for. I know that we got that raid earlier. That was fantastic. We've got a series of extra follows, and we got a couple in here just a very short while ago. So thank everybody, so much. Hopefully y'all will stick around and come back, again for what is, I can only assume, going to be at least an exciting beginning of the session. It may not last very long. We'll see. It really all depends, doesn't it? But yeah, thank you all so much. And once again, we are still doing our Extra Life fundraiser. The stream was a while back when we've gotten ourselves up to $1,300 out of $3,500 for our goal. There's a few more kind of giveaways that we're going to do along the way, including an e-copy of Tasha's Guide to Everything, a gaming mouse, and a gaming keyboard there at the very end. So, donates for a good cause for the continental North America children's hospitals and sick kids. That's always, it's worth it, I promise. And then also our close friend Brittany, who's also a part of Hard Knock Dice. She plays in the Eberron game that we do on Saturdays as well, is doing a Kickstarter for her Spellbound pin, enamel pins. This is not WoW. Her Spellbound enamel pins. They're really cool, designs based off of spells from D&D like Fireball, Revivify, and Gentle Repose. So go check those out. Consider donate a little bit to that Kickstarter, because hopefully, if these take off well, she'll be able to make even more, and they're really cool and nifty looking. So do so. And before we go, as per usual, we're gonna do a raid onto somebody else. We started with a raid, and we're gonna end up raiding somebody else. I gotta find somebody worth raiding because my Twitch is being a big old bitch. So it's struggling to look for anybody. See who TTRPG wise is out and about. Let's see here. Good gracious, there we are. Some people who are maybe a little less, like they're in our realm. I don't think actually any of our normal friends are online. The people we hop in. Let's see. We got somebody who's actually right above us, beyond the realms. Let's see. Dice Cream Sandwich. I actually really like that name. I'm not gonna lie. That's awesome.
I have mixed feelings.
I love it. Yeah, we're gonna rate those guys. They're so we'll show some TTRPG like solidarity. Show them some love. Everybody ready up. Go say hi. Give them a raid. Maybe a follow. Say hello from Hard Knock Dice so that we just be supportive of other people within our group in general. And y'all all have a great night. We'll be back here on Wednesday for Tavern Talks for some more chill stuff, and then Saturday for our Eberron campaign, which multiple of us play in, and Gloob, our froggy boy, froggy rogue over here. Always forget I can't point in the right direction. We'll be DMing that. So we'll see you guys later. Bye!
Bye.
Easy.